Hello, I am back, bitches. I appear. I am here. I am queer. What up? What up? Hello. Yes, I'm drinking my coffee. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, Stripe. Hello. Push his hair back cutely. How are you doing? It's nice to see you. But no, hi. This just feels so weird to go back into it. Yeah. I'm not sure how to really start this because it's like, it feels so weird, like, doing it. I know it hasn't been that long, but still, like, I look so. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Is it because I have a shit ton? Actually, I have less makeup in that one, actually. But thank you. Probably gonna delete a lot of them later just because, like, I like showing off my looks, but I don't like having them on there forever. Thank you. I was going for like a Y2K look, just because like it's autumn and like. Okay, a little backstory to the outfit. The shirt I'm wearing was given to me because one of my roommate's relatives passed away a while ago, and like I've been trying to find a way to wear it, and I was like, this fits a very like late 2000s vibe, and I was really excited, and I was like, yes, and then. So I just made a whole thing. Ripped some holes in some socks and made them into those glove things. I'm very resourceful. Made them into those glove things, you know. I was gonna wear a hat, but I don't have a hat that like would fit in that style. So I didn't wear a hat. So I just wore barrettes or clips. I'm turning on the vibe music on my end because like it's dead silent and scary. Hold on, let me just make sure that the music isn't too high or too low or like ear piercing because that happens sometimes, especially when I'm gone. I thought you said your roommate passed away. Oh no. Yeah, yeah. He's fine. My roommates are okay. They're not dead. Not yet. I'm joking. I'm gonna turn my mic towards me. Oh yeah. Why do I feel like I'm like taking up so much room? Man, I'm gonna make myself small. Oh, let me do it in here. Hold on. I'm so tiny. But yeah, it's so weird to be back because like the reason why I'm still kind of on it, but like I'm low key on hiatus because never mind. Get that back up. I forgot. I'm only like low key on hiatus because like is that the right word? I don't think that's the right word. I'm not gonna be streaming more very frequently anymore. Not because of like I don't like streaming, but it's just like because of like going to like therapy and like you know hot girl mental illness shit. I'm kind of focusing on that and working and trying to get art done because like I love streaming and doing art, but it's not as keeping me on track as I thought it would be, but it's still really fun. Just because like I like you guys are such good talkers. I like when you guys say stuff and I always pay attention. I need to pay attention less. I need to ignore you a little more. But this day is a day to really acknowledge your guys' opinion. We're just gonna talk about designs and all that. And so basically, yeah, that's just me. I'm holding the stream for people that, oddly enough, don't follow me on any of my accounts and only follow me on YouTube. Because it seems that some people are like, "Where'd you go?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm here." But yeah, I'm still gonna be streaming, just not as frequently. I try to plan streams ahead of time, like do that Weeby thing. Except on like Weeby, she has like, what's the word? A consistent schedule. I'll probably stream like once a week, like she does, just because like on Fridays or something. Maybe on Mondays. I don't know, but yeah. Any other discovery real quick. I may be talking about designs and fashion and all that stuff, but I'm not, of course, like an arbiter of like, oh, you have to do this, or you have to do that. All my things are basically just like suggestions, even if I may sound more solid in them. I'm basically just talking from my own point of view. So, if any design tips don't seem right for you, you don't gotta take them. You can be like, shut up, bitch. I ain't listening. I'm doing my own shit. Bye. Okay, don't actually go, but you know what I mean. And yeah. So, where do I start with first? Because, like, I guess like since I'm in my model right now, I can just talk about like my like VTuber designs, because that's what mainly I wanted to talk about when I first started this. I think my stream last time was, oh my god, I keep winking. My last stream was about like gonna be like about VTuber design specifically, but I was just kind of want to talk about designs in general, because I know that the talk's gonna get like out there. And yeah, so anyway, VTuber designs. Where do I start? Goddamn. First off, it depends on whether you're indie or corporate, because like corporate you don't really have a choice, and so like this isn't really like for you guys. So I guess I'll mostly talk about indie, but I will talk a little bit about like Hololive designs and like company designs and like why they're so good a lot of the time and why some of them are bad or actually they're just not as eye-catching. But anyway, oh my god, there's like so many like prefaces I have to make, because it's like now I have to talk about male and female ones. Let's start with the girls, because they're a little like more popular. Well, one design, I'm trying to think of, give an example. Oh, a big tip for when you're VTubing, you don't have to do an animal. That's one thing I noticed, because like I remember, was it Strike? Someone in the Discord was saying, I need to get an animal to like use as a as well, an animal to symbolize me. But like, and like that's good. It's like I'm not saying anything about that. The preface I'm trying to give is that you don't have to have an animal or bug or insect inspired look. I mean, a lot of VTubers have that, but that's just because it's like a easy marketing tool and like an easy mascot maker, I guess. Because a lot of times when you see a character is based on like an animal, a lot of times it's, you know, an animal based at that. To be honest, I only use it once in the design I had, right? Yeah, it's okay. It still looks wonderful. I'm just using it as a jumping off point. Because like I remember, because I struggled with that. Like I was gonna be normal, like no horns and all that stuff, because I felt for a while that I had to be an animal of some kind. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna be an animal. And then I slowly was like, I really like cows. I really like cow stuff and like demon cows. And so then I ended up going into cows just because I thought it was cute and a cute little like a little thingy. But I didn't have to. Like you don't have to have an animal type to be like to create a character in VTubing. Like a surprising amount actually are either not animals. At least the more popular people are either not animals or are like very like loosely based on them. Like, I mean, mostly in like Niji Sanji, and a lot of them are like very loosely based off animals, but most of them are just like humans or like creatures, but with human form and not really like a specific animal. Like I always use Vox as an example because he's a really good example of like a male VTuber that's very simple, but not to the point where it's like at his detriment. It's simple enough, and his case is a case of less is more. And that's another thing, is that you don't have to do like crazy stuff. Like my design, yeah, it's pretty crazy, but then when I take off my clothes, it's like, it's a lot simpler, but it still gets the look across. Not just with like my silhouette, but also with like little smaller details like my hair or my flower or my ribs. And it's not, and you just don't want to go too overboard if you're not like, if that's not your vibe. If that's not your vibe, then don't go overboard. Oh, you know what, actually? Okay. Sorry, I'm jumping to a somewhat different topic. There's this NFT VTuber that's going around on Twitter, and he looks, his model's good, but his design is based off an NFT, so it's really bad. Like, he's probably the only example I'm ever like outside of this. Ew, no NFT VTubers. Exactly. Out with them. No. Get out. He's the only person I would describe as invalid. Invalid. And it's funny because I was talking to myself. I do that a lot. That's how I can just like continue a conversation. But I was talking to myself and being like, oh my god, if this person, if I had a choice on either making this person a model for free and they'll never touch or talk about NFTs or support NFTs again, I would. Because god, I hate NFTs. But yeah, he was a great example of like too much, just too much. He had too many concepts going on, and not even like concepts, because like what his was not only did it not have a concept, but it also was just over like, I guess, looking the most, just the most. I don't. There's no like, because he had no concept. You kind of have to have. That's the main thing about models and like your character and all that stuff, is that you have to have a concept of some kind before you like really make them, which is like probably one of the most important parts of just general character designs. You have to have like some kind of concept or some kind of idea of like who they are, what they would wear, what they are wearing, and how it ties into themselves, which, you know, is very easy. I'm pretty sure y'all know that. But like for VTubers, in this case, you have to be a little versatile, like in terms of like thinking like what's their fashion rather than what's their design. Sometimes some designs I find for VTubers is they have designs that are so complicated that with it until you pick every time you look. Yeah, there are designs I've seen, especially on like YouTube for like showcases, that I'm like, oh my god, that's incredible. I love it. I can't draw fan art because it's too complicated. Which, you know, isn't too important, but like it's just impressive how some people can do that. Like they can execute too much, but in a good way. The stream is helping me with my Fang and Cass outfits with I have characters but blend designs. Ah, okay. I'll get into Fangans and like designs in terms of like not just DR characters, but just like a less showy, I guess, media, because VTubing is like you're meant to be kind of showy, even if you're more simple. You're meant to be a little like show-offy. And I'm glitching. Hold on. Something's happening. Oh no, I'm bugging out. Okay, I think I'm good. Let me put this page down so that I know it's not messing up anything. Sorry. Yes, we'll get into that very soon. Cause like I'm personally more of a like semi-realistic person who does like when I do outfits, I try to design them with like structure or a real outfit in mind. Like my corset, like I wouldn't really describe it as a corset. Well, it's kind of a corset, but not really. A bustier. It's a bustier. It's very realistic. It has structure. It bounces, of course, because that's rigging. But like, I've seen outfits that are like skin tight and like they're like pearls and like beads that are part of like super skin tight. I'm not saying there's not skin tight VTubers. There's not skin tight outfits in real life. But a lot of them would be a lot harder to execute in real life compared to like VTubing. So that's where I'm coming from when it comes to design. If you're looking for something like super fantasy or like armor and all stuff, I'm probably not the person. But you can probably take some of my philosophies in that aspect. What do you think about bald VTubers? I love bald VTubers. There's this one bald VTuber who was like I think a gangster or like a money person. A person who like of some kind. And I loved his design. He had like a psycho tee. He was bald. He had all purple and like a purple fur coat. And I was like, sexy. If you do it right, bald VTubers are super hot. They're super hot. People use them as a joke sometimes and they look kind of weird. That's because like, you know, usually the model already has hair. And then they take off the hair. So it looks flat. But like, it's possible to do like a very good bald VTuber. My character has no structure, so I need to work on that. Here's someone else. Oh, okay. Probably. If you want something really personal, you can probably send it in my Discord, and like we can like talk about it personally. Cause like I really like giving like one-on-one kind of conversations about designs as well. This is more like a general thing, unless you like have a character that's like this, where we were talking about bald features for a split second. But yeah, and also like bald VTubers, the one thing that like, if I were to give like a gripe in terms of like their baldness, is that sometimes it's like a little bland on top. And hi honey, welcome to the stream. Hi honey. Is that sometimes their heads can then become a lot less interesting to look at, which is, you know, because how VTubing is, it's really important to like have the upper half be very interesting. So in terms of like bald VTubers, I feel like they're a little, not behind, but just a little less interesting in the upper area, because hair kind of adds that extra like silhouette and look that makes everything look flow and feel more visually stimulating. I think that's the word. Just helps something going on. Like if I didn't have hair, it'd probably be a little less interesting to look at me because like my hair's all constantly flowing and it shows that I'm like moving. Wow, and it like holds all my stuff and like yeah. But bald VTubers have that disadvantage where it's not very like there's nothing much moving besides themselves. So a way to combat this is like I said, you have like a very puffy coat and all that stuff. It'd be good to have like other pieces around the head, not covering the head, but just around it, or like on the like earrings or tattoos, something that like visually stimulates the viewer. But yeah, been a while. Yep, it's been a while. Like I said, I'm just gonna be streaming less frequently, so you may want to follow my socials just to make sure that like when I'm actually about to like do stuff, of course I'll put like, well actually I guess, oh my god, I am everywhere. My brain is everywhere. Give me a second. Okay. I'm going to choose a day where I'm going to stream once a week instead of every day, because I feel as though with like a bunch of stuff happening in my real life, it's easier to just do once in a while. Oh yeah, me and Titans were talking about the new characters. And it's funny enough, I was talking about how their designs are a little blander than past seasons. Of course, there are still good designs within the Total Drama, the newer seasons that I saw, but most of them are covered up, so I couldn't see them all properly and put together in a line. But they could have been a little more interesting, especially with like it being made now, where fashion is a lot crazier. They could have pushed it a little bit, and also like fan characters. I've seen fan characters are so interesting, and it's like they were a little bland. But yes, Maj are really good with the advice. I'm okay with the advice. And yes, no problem. I'd be glad. Oh, I just smacked y'all in the head. I'm sorry. They're bland. Then, yep. Orange sweater girl. Who's? Oh yeah, with the skirt. Yeah, I liked her design. It was that one's the one I noted in my brain that was like simple, but like executed well. While a lot of them are like very like, eh. Like I get that's really normal teens, but like nowadays normal teens usually wear more crazy outfits, or at least more like visually appealing ones. Especially nowadays, now that like fashion and all stuff is more circulated, a lot of people look a lot quote unquote better, or at least have more fashion sense compared to like now, or compared to then in like the 2010s when like fashion was very much meh. And even then, their designs in the past seasons were way more interesting. They're I feel like they've done more. Yeah, they have done more before. They've had like I remember the season with the guy with like I don't remember if he speaks. I'll have to like pull up past seasons, but we were talking about them, and I was just noting like, oh my god, yes, all these seasons, all the characters look so much better. Again, some of the characters are covered in the new season, so it's kind of hard to like see how many people like interesting visually, for just some people who are like really meh. Because there's characters in the past seasons that are just meh, but like they were kind of offset by the more interesting characters in design. Like I remember the Drunkless race having really good designs, and I was like, yes. And you see girl wearing all blue. It's fine. My man, if I'm gonna pull these dates up, cause I'm having a hard time remembering who these people are. Oh no, I did that wrong. Total D. New season. Hold up. Where is it? Where's the image? What? I'm trying to find it, because like I remember being set in my chat, but it's like, oh my god, I tried doing new season, and then like a bunch of fan characters are coming out, and it's like, oh wow, I didn't know they added that character, and I was like, then I look at the cast, and I was like, oh wait, wrong person, wrong thing. Hold on. Oh, you're gonna have to send me in Discord or something, because, like, I cannot find it online. Oh, whoopsie. Purple hair girl. Yeah, the purple hair girl. She look crazy. I love her. The purple. Oh, she crazy. We love crazy in this house. Make sure you see her head. Exactly. Apparently, there's someone missing a limb in the new season. Ooh, yes. Handicap representation. Disability representation. And like Ashton noted that a lot of people are POC in this new season, which is really good. And I was like, yes, a majority POC cast. Lovely, beautiful, amazing. It's I was joking. Me and we're joking. I'm like, we are finally taking over. But there'll be a gay couple in the story. Fuck yeah, gay people. Hell yeah, gays. Finally, this they're like really like throwing every representation into this season. They're like, you know what? It's more inclusive this season. We've had like nudges last season. Let's just go all in. Throw it all in. Yeah, I hope they release the character design separately. Yes. That's what I was saying even before, is that especially because like I haven't really watched most of the seasons. Like, I mean, I remember watching Smoke, like, I mean, if I were to cut it in half, I'd probably watch like 2/3 of all the seasons. But most of them, I'm like, I kind of fell off after a bit. So I was like telling him, oh yeah, I can't really have a say in this, because like, I'm not really too deep into it anymore. But I may watch this new season just because it's new and it's been a while. But stereotypes will use this time. Yeah. Hopefully they don't use like a whole lot, because it's like, yay. Yes, the diversity in the cast is what I was really happy with, but I feel as though, like, again, their designs are lacking, like, really lacking, and that's the only thing that really upsets me. Again, they're not all in a line. I can't see all their designs, so I can't really quite have a say, like, oh my god, they're all so bland, all of them suck. No, they're just not. Currently, the ones that are at the forefront aren't as visually appealing compared to the other past contestants. You know, was it one girl that looks Irish? I'm trying to think. I feel like I know who you're talking about in that. Nope, I don't know who you're talking about. I just remember there being an angry girl on the side, and she had like, I think a belt, or like her underwear was showing with her pants kind of low, with like a corset top looking thing, or like a button up that's like sleeveless. And I was like, my whole friend group was like, oh my god, she's hot, and I was like, yes, she's hot, and we're all like just fangirling over her specifically. Ooh, ow, my back hurts. My back hurts. There's one girl who looked like most of the characters were bland. Yeah, again, they are, from what I've seen, they seem to be very bland, but most of the characters are covered by the characters in the front, so who knows, maybe the cooler characters are like behind them. Minus like 1 or 2 characters in the front that looked pretty good. Girl, she hot. Exactly, she's sexy. Oh, speaking of diversity, there's this problem that I see in terms of like when you're adding a diverse character. Sometimes, like, this is I'm not talking about VTubers at this point, but like when you're adding diverse characters, you have to make sure that they still have like their own style. Like, basically ignore their diversity and just be like, hey, what would this character do? Like, what would they wear? Of course, like, you have to like understand their diversity to be like, in case it's to their character. But a lot of times, designing a character, and sometimes skin tone does play a part in it. Like, if I were, let's say I were a white girl. And you know, I'm in this. It may seem a little like wonky to have my light skin tone with all this white and red, compared to like with all like, it just washed me out. So I'd have to go with like a black look rather than a white look. So you always want to, when you're designing a character of color, not only do you have to factor in their own personal style, but also like their style with their skin tone, it would look good. And like even with some browns, like if you go on my Twitter, there's a picture of me right now. I have a mask on, and as you can see, I'm wearing brown. but like it still compliments me because I have pieces on me that like show off what's that like don't like make me blend into my shirt with like my black and the chains and my like sock arm thingies. You just have them if you're gonna use a character with what's the word, a similar tone to what the clothes are, you want to add those like cutoff points so that they don't blend into themselves. They don't blend in and they look naked, because that happens a lot. Like you've seen those images of people like, oh my god, what's on my back? Oh no, I have like a bad scent on my back, and I haven't had scent on my back in like years. I'm gonna put a pillow behind it because like it's kind of hurting. It's one of those irritated zits, where it's like, or it's not caused by nastiness, it's caused by irritation from like rubbing against stuff. And like I've been like drawing a lot, so like my back's been like against my chair a lot. And yeah, and like because I'm in my room, I wear like tank tops and like thin clothes, so like ow. Anyway, okay, we're talking about, oh, she's sorry, I was just going on a tangent. But yeah, the character we're talking about is in the image. She's like at the very bottom. Like if you were to look at it, it's from your bottom right. Like she's like kind of. I think she looks kind of angry. She has like I think a half ponytail, a half tail, where like half her hair's up and half her hair's down. She's kind of angry. She's hot. I'm rooting for the pink. Literally, me at Titan was like, oh yeah, she's top 3. She's gonna be top 3, and I'm like, yes, she better be. She looks like it. She looks top 3 material. Yeah, they look a bit like OCs, where they're not like the best, where they're not like the most like, they're not complimented. They're like kind of like, how do I say this? They just are kind of disjointed but bland. Like they're insert characters rather than like their own characters, like self-inserts, without adding the like sparkle of like, oh, this is why it's a character. Like in my case, my character is based on me and what I look like, but like I don't have like this exact hair and like this exact outfit. There's a bunch of sprinkles of like, this is a different character compared to like IRL. Yeah, reminds me of a recent sewing challenge on Drag Race UK. Jid and Blonde wore this pale shade of green and really bleached blonde hair. Added that her skin tone, she looked like oh my god, yeah, that's also what you gotta be careful with. It's not just, also, yeah, this does apply to fashion as well. You just gotta watch out for like, I guess, the colors as well as you use together, because sometimes like that could happen. You end up looking like candy if you don't want to. You end up looking kind of like a little tasty, but not in the right way. She looks like she was rebel. Yeah, she did. She looked kind of like she could fight someone. She doesn't look top 3 material. She looks like she'd get close to top 3, but then be sabotaged. If we're still talking about Todrama, the new Todrama cast, like background characters. Yes, background characters. Ironically, her outfit was shy as well. Oh, oh, god damn. Yeah. Sometimes I can't really say much about a drag race because like I'm not like a drag artist, so like a lot of this stuff is like over my head because it's like a little too high fashion for me. Because like I said, I pull for more like semi everyday look / like turning less crazy things into more crazy things. So like stuff like that is over my head, but it's so impressive when people can just like take an outfit or a design, just go crazy with it, but still make it look good. Because that's what a lot of drag queens do. They take crazy looks and make them look good. And the reason why they look so good isn't just because like you have to factor in what you look like alone. Like if you were to take off the outfit, because that's the case with a lot of drag queens. If you were to take off their outfit and put them in a different outfit, but keep their hair for another outfit, or makeup and hair for another outfit, it looks weird and disjointed. A lot of the outfits are like tailored to the specific dress, or the look is tailored, or the dress is tailored to the look. You always want to make sure that the whole being is like one it's just one. With like a lot of characters. Like this is I try to like talk about this without like examples in front of me. Especially with like the fact like I don't really want to use anyone else's example like characters because that'd be kind of rude. Hold on, let me see if I can show anything of mine that's like I can critique / use. I don't want to have to keep using that design. I guess no, that design's not even done. It's hard to use characters. It's hard to use characters in other people's stuff. But yeah, that's another tip, is that just make sure everything, including like not just the hair, or everything, absolutely everything, every bit of the character is connected with itself, or at least adds to the look. You don't want to have like let's say someone's look is more simple, you're probably gonna have more simple hair. But if the look is too simple, you want to probably take the hair and make it wild, like more like done up, or like add little pins or clips. There's always little bits that you can add to make a look, well, look good, even if it's simple. Sometimes the plaid outfits are oh no, plaid outfits, those are literally a death sentence in every form of fashion. Literally every form of fashion, death sentence. Anyway, sometimes the plaid outfits are worse than the sewing challenge outfits, and I don't know how to feel about it. Yeah, it's just because plaid is a very it has a lot of connotations that isn't really derived in high fashion, and if it is, it's usually very like, how do I say this? It's usually an outfit that's very much not its connotation. Basically, like a lot of plaid outfits are plaid is associated with like the countryside and like just like very homegrown, out in the field working kind of deal. A little like it is basically associated with like lower classness, classism, lower class people, quote unquote. Because like I love plaid, but like I don't really wear plaid. Like I like looking at it, and like when people really like work it, they work it. But there's certain kinds of plaids, especially with the basic plaid patterns, that aren't the best, especially for high fashion looks. Because there's like different plaid patterns that are like in Clueless, she's wearing plaid, but it's like really like out there and really crazy. But that's what makes it high fashion, because the plaid is crazy, rather than like it removes the connotation of what plaid is. But see, I said paid, not plaid. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's okay though. At least we gotta talk about plaid and pattern connotations. It's okay. I have dyslexia. I cannot read. I don't actually know if I have dyslexia, but like everyone keeps saying I do, and I need to get checked out, but it costs too much. Can look techie. Yeah, very techie. Very techie. There's like a few Drag Race contestants I've seen wear plaid, and it did look pretty good, but of course it was, again, the like Dorothy country look a lot of the time. Oh, such as, okay. But now this is, okay, yes, sorry, now I get what you were saying. The paid outfits look worse. So, yeah, you're right, sometimes they do, sadly. Which kind of sucks, because when you think about it, it's like, imagine paying for something and it coming to you and it's awful compared to like what you made in like a week with like your own bare hands. It's like I could have just made I could have just made my own outfit at this point. And forget Larry's bag look, the pinnacle of design. Bag look. Okay, you're gonna have to, a lot of these things you're gonna have to send to me, because like I haven't watched Drag Race in so long. I've only watched like a few seasons when I was a kid, and then I grew up and started rewatching some of the seasons. But I haven't gotten that far or branched into any other like, what's the word? Any other Drag Race series of any other place. Because like I've heard about a lot of drag queens, but I haven't actually watched the show. That's how I know a lot about some drag queens, but not a lot about others. So yeah, you're gonna send these looks to me on like the media chat, or like personally, because like I do want to see some of these things because they sound really cool. I like how we get in this tangent. I started out with like VTuber designs, and I didn't really get into like the meat and bones of like, I guess like complicated designs, and like going into like simpler designs. I mean, I can look up probably like good examples of simple designs. Let's see. I'll put it in this card. This card around. She said in her group first, which is on a Ray gag. Watch my runways gagger. I was just not gag. Oh. Ah, okay. Well, let me read this. I think I read the message wrong. She said, girl group first. Watch my. Okay. Yeah, I'd make sure I was reading it right. Sorry, I just was like confused because like usually I put like quotations whenever it gets into a verse, and I got confused. I was like, oh, wait, which part was the lyric? And it's like the whole bottom part. Der. Of course. Man, it's so weird talking because it's like it feels like I'm everywhere but nowhere. Cause like I've been getting off coffee because it turns out I have a coffee addiction. I'm drinking mostly cocoa with like a splash of coffee. That's my coffee for the day. I've been trying to like get off it. So it's been like a little hard like getting my brain set whenever I want to talk about stuff. Basically because I'm also taking some like new stuff to make me like feel better. Legal prescription stuff. Not like anything out of the ordinary. So yeah, I'm a little everywhere. Oh man, I literally have a fan running all the way over there so the wind slowly blows and I'm still hot. But yeah, VTuber, complicated designs, simple designs. Yeah, go crazy, but like have a concept, have a palette. The order isn't like necessarily like set in stone. You could just either have a palette, you just make a character however you like. But the main takeaway is that just make sure the concept fits you, or like you feel as though you have a connection to it. Make sure it doesn't like go too crazy, and make sure everything's connected in itself. Because like I said with the NFT VTuber, having too much could be a bad thing. It's always good to go a little simpler if you really like. If you really what I was gonna say. It's best to go simple if you aren't like in the headspace for a crazier design, or like in the mood for a crazier design. It's in. I'm sorry for what. Oh, I forgot to turn off my notifications. Hold on. Oh my god. I got the notification. Okay, good. Now I'm nervous. You made me nervous. Like, what are you gonna show me? What are we saying? But yeah, it's best to go simple if you're really not like able to do more complicated design. But there's ways to like execute a simple design. And I was gonna get into something else, but I totally forgot. Oh, also real quick, there's a difference between design and character design and fashion. A character's fashion sense. Because like a design is like a set look, like basically outside of like this is my default. This is my design. My character design is what I'm wearing right now, because this is just the default. It's something that the character is gonna be constantly wearing, and even outside of that, my design is a design is mostly like what is unchanging. So like what is unchanging is my hair type, the little white bits, the little hair bits, of course my skin and my face, all that. Those parts are set in stone, so that's my design. Pardon me, I burped. While fashion is a character's like a multitude of looks that go with that character. I just keep on my desk, jeez, I'm too close. Is a set of like what they would wear, what they are gonna wear, and what times they wear it, and how they wear it. Like my fashion sense is a little everywhere. It's experimental. It's what's the word? It's trendy. My fashion I would describe as trendy. It's just what's popular with a slight like anime-y twist or like a artsy twist to it. But nothing like crazy. But that's the thing, is that you also want to make sure you understand your character's fashion sense and not just their set design. Especially if you want to make more outfits, you want to know, like, what would they wear when they're about to sleep? What would they wear under their clothes? What would they wear when they're like, it's a hot day and they're off work and they're just strolling along the street? What would they wear? And it just shows, it also builds your character on who they are as well. Because like I said, I'm kind of like a, with like, at least in terms of like me, if that makes sense, my model and character, I would describe the fashion as like not just trendy, but like a little prissy, kind of rich girl-y kind of vibe, rather than like any specific kind of like look, if that makes sense. Basically, I'm a bitch. That's my design, my fashion sense. I am a bitch, a bad bitch, and that's just my fashion sense. So I would say just like make sure your character has you have your character's fashion in mind as well as their design. And also it helps, especially with if you don't like that set design, to have like plan like future designs or like future looks. And also because like it also helps with like if you want to draw it yourself, because that's what I need to do, is like draw myself in like just clothes that I know my character would like, rather than just like the set design. Because like man, my design is hard to draw. It's tedious. It is pretty tedious. That's why I also I was really happy that my rigger had me like, or that's why I cut myself up so that I could remove some of this stuff, because it's like way easier to draw when I'm just like not going crazy. But no, I'm just gonna move into like now just general character design, because like I know I was talking about VTubers and all that stuff. But a lot of the stuff, like I said, this design stuff also applies to, well, every character, no matter what. Even in more simple looks. Like, let's get into Danganronpa, because I know more about Danganronpa. As you know, in DR, a lot of the characters have, like, uniforms and all that stuff. A lot of, what they would usually wear. That's their design. But anything outside of it is their fashion. But of course, we're talking about designs now, because they never really go out of that. What was I gonna say? Uniforms. Yes. It's important to, like, in my opinion, to probably go outside of uniform sometimes, in terms of when you design a DR character, because it's not a bad thing to constantly have like skirts and all stuff, but it's nice to have someone in like, you know, just a pair of jeans that's a girl, or like a guy who's like wearing like somewhat feminine clothing, or like something that they'd like outside of school. Imagine having to spend decades to escape in your uniform. Literally, I would hate that. Wearing the exact same outfit. I mean, if it was something I picked, then yeah, but it's like, I was thinking about that, especially in V3, when like they look into their closet and it's like, oh, it's just the same outfit. I'm like, oh my god, imagine having to like constantly wear the same thing. I would hate that. But even outside just constantly wearing the same thing, just wearing, like you said, a uniform, something that is not technically your fashion. You may try to make it your own thing, but like, yeah, especially if you have a really complicated outfit. Yes, exactly. Like, you have to think somewhat, I feel like with like some designs, you have to think somewhat realistically. Because like, think about it, if you were to appear and wake up in your school uniform, you're probably going to change it up. Even if you're like, what's the word? Even if it's like, it's the only thing you have, you're probably going to change it up. I'm sorry, my ultimate, avant-garde? Oh my god. Avant-garde. Okay, yes, that would be just like wearing something super big and bulky and then just like crazy everywhere. And it's like, oh yeah, you're just constantly gonna wear that. Okay. I feel like though you have to be a little more realistic in terms of like, oh my god, there's something in my eye. This happens a lot. In terms of like, especially for like a killing game, some characters are not gonna wear the exact same outfits the whole time they're there. That's what I was gonna do for my fan project, was I was gonna, even though they're gonna wear the same outfits usually, their like night outfits were gonna be different. They're gonna have probably like party outfits at some point. Just give them like slight changes, or like for like a character, if they were like to have a bulky piece, make it like some days they wear it, some days they don't, and maybe even use that in a murder where it's like, oh, they weren't wearing this day, so that means they did it, but it's like obviously they didn't, because like why would they do that? Stuff like that is like not only interesting to have as like a piece for later, but also it's just more realistic, but still like adds to the design overall. I'm so excited for the crazy looking goth girl. Yep, me too. I say do a totally spies and yes. Yes, but no. And I mean, yes, in terms of like if you were to go and like make something like a comic or like something that's like changes every while where the character's not wearing a uniform. But like in terms of like DR, I'm thinking practically of like what the artist can do, because obviously they're going to be a lot of sprites, so constantly remaking sprites is going to be a lot of work for a fan project, especially for any project that's has like a lot of sprites, unless you have like a set, unless you like have like the everything written. I mean, I'm assuming you're going to have everything written, but you know when this character is going to wear this outfit with what expressions, that you can like subjugate what sprites are going to have those outfits, then maybe. But like in DR, I would say just have like a set different types of outfits for different times, rather than like, or like pieces that go away rather than the whole outfit changing, just because of practicality. But lean into like some things going missing, or some people wearing jackets and then other days not wearing jackets, stuff like that. Oh, let's see. Looks like she is wearing a Lolita outfit because of her puffs. Ooh, that'd be cute, like a goth Lolita look. Yes. Actually, wait, that takes ages art-wise. Yeah. I remember seeing an artist redesign the cast to dress more for the beach rather than just their uniforms. Just so Kazuichi. Oh, really? That's just, okay. All this is gonna be like, just send it over, because that sounds cool. All this stuff sounds cool. I like seeing like other people's renditions of like DR characters in like different situations. And like, yeah, I was thinking that too, but like I feel like it makes I feel like it would make sense if like they had like their characters wear their uniforms for the first bit, and then like for like the one day they're just like, you know what, it's hot as hell, like halfway through the chapter, let's change. And then they change to like basically either change their uniforms or like wear something a little less like hot on top of it, like but like not straight up beach outfits, like for like super Danganronpa, you know, they'll just have like swim trunks and all stuff, or like their uniforms, just like a mix basically, like yes, I like I'm talking about this as if that person didn't already do that. Oh, and a really good example of like changing designs for the medium. There's a fan game that's using the first Total Drama Island cast for their fan game, but they're changing the designs to be like DR, and they're really cool. And so it just depends on the medium too. I just drew Isabella sprites in from Encanto in the Danganronpa style as. Oh, that's so sweet and cool as hell. Badass. No, like actually, cause like, even like, cause like not gonna lie, I really like her design, cause of how like she goes from like, you know, pretty dainty, which I like, and then like somewhat, I guess their times version of goth or like alt or like emo. It's like hell yeah, like with like all the splashes of paint and like black, and I'm like, oh, yes, or blue. I guess in the end it was mostly blue, but yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds really cool. You know the oh my god. That's gonna be my catchphrase. Send it in chat. Send it in Discord, please. I want to see it. that sounds really cool. But yeah, as I was talking about, you have to acknowledge the medium you're using as well. Like in for like I was saying about the Total Drama Island cast being turned to DR characters, the designs are vastly different from their canon TV counterparts. But that's because, you know, it's DR. They're gonna have more complicated designs. And not only that, but they really like emphasize certain aspects of the characters through that because they can. They're not going to be animated, so they're not going to be restricted by animation. They're going to be sprites, so there's going to be like, you know, that's another thing is that you have to acknowledge like what, like if let's just say you're making a comic, if you ever plan on having it be like an animated series or something, most of the time those animated series aren't going to be picked up by like big companies. So it's often advised, especially for like, again, this is like if it becomes popular and like it becomes a series, it's advised that characters have more simpler designs but like well executed. And that kind of goes into like not just the VTuber thing I was talking about with Vox, but just in general. Or sometimes less is more, but there's a way to make less more. Where like I was gonna use myself as an example, but like I'm not really simple. Most of the most of the design is placed in either the silhouette or the what's it called, I guess like small details of the characters. I'm trying to think of it, give a better example that's like where like, pardon me, where the designs are like simple but really good. I'm trying to think. It's not a lot of mediums because like a lot of cartoons are that. I mean, I guess I can keep using Total Drama since most of us know what that is. But yeah, like I guess in this case, Total Drama, a lot of the designs, at least like I said with the Redonkulous race, especially with the Goths, their designs are like crazy. But like for the medium, it's actually they're like somewhat simple, but like, you can imagine them in real life, and they're not that simple, but they are well made for animation. I feel as though when you're trying to change things to other mediums, or you're trying to like make sure something for one medium is good for another medium, it's gonna go a little simpler, but there's ways to do simple that is executed well. And also there's no shame in like if something's changed from one series to another. Like I can't really give an example, but I know this has happened where a manga or a comic, they've changed like a design detail for a character to be less hard to draw, or like the art style of the series has changed, which you know sometimes is is a little meh. But the reason why is because it helps with the animation, makes things a lot easier, makes things a lot more fluid. Wow, if they were to keep it, would have been a lot harder, and the studio probably wouldn't have came out as well. It's weird that I'm talking about this because it sounds like I'm talking about a specific thing, but I don't remember what it is. I just remember people complaining about this at one point. What else? I was gonna use the Mario movie as example too, just because like it's what's popular right now. But it's like their designs are pretty like done well. Oh, my roommates are now up, so like you're gonna hear some stuff in the background. Anyway, trying to think of what like, cause like I'm basically just talking around in circles, cause like just putting things out there. Oh god, the Mario movie. I think visually and design wise, it's very good. Some of the models are wonky, mainly Mario's, just at certain angles, but it's not like awful. I guess just because I'm used to like the specific game models that they always use. So seeing them outside of that and just not even just like completely changed, like for Paper Mario and all stuff, where like the design is completely changed up, but it's like, yeah, the Chris, I don't really like Chris Pratt's voice for Mario. People are like, what do you expect? Is he gonna sound exactly like, it's like, I don't expect him to sound like Mario, like the game character was like, Yahoo! And also, oh my god, my voice just cracked. It's like, high pitched and all that stuff. I just expect, sorry, it's just like, I heard banging. I was expecting like at least an accent, like someone who with an actual Italian accent, or like someone who sounds not as deep, I guess, or like more grungy. I don't know. I always imagine Mario as like not high pitched, but not as low and more grungy, like an old man kind of sounding with an accent. That's how I always imagined it. Wasn't sure where to put it, so I put it in the art show. That's fine. Yeah, if it's your own art, put it in an art show. If it's like if it's a medium or someone else's art, it's okay to put it in an art show, but of course you have to credit someone. But like if it's not your art, put it in, and you don't know who it is, just put it in media show, because like that you don't know who it is, but it implies that it's not yours when it's media. The like Okay. Yeah, but I can't believe it's it. I mean, it is though. Is it not? Is it not? Isn't it? I mean, most adventure animated series are isekais technically, if you think about it. Though the only difference between isekai and like those is the fact that it's like very much medieval design, specifically medieval. But and like there's like slight aesthetic difference, but I generally it's basically the same. It's basically the same. Ow. Sorry, I like crushed my toe in like the treadmill a bit ago when I was moving it, so it's like bruised and achy. I just smacked it against something just now. But yeah, same sentiment, same sentiment. They're the same thing. Mario gets isekai'd into the world, and he helps out them. I'm okay. Well, but yeah, that's what I was getting at. Is that it depends on the medium. Like, yes, it did look a little wonky, but it's because I'm so used to it. It didn't look bad per se. It just looked a little wonky. But for the medium that they're using for animation compared to video games, it's really well done. And I would say the changes are actually welcomed. Because, like, the reason why Mario looks so different for the games compared to the movie is because the movie takes a lot more, like, details. It's meant to be very detailed. Compared to the games that are just, you know, video games. So a lot of the resolution is going to be lower for functional reasons. While for animation, it's expected that it's going to be very detailed. So him being more like rounded and more, I guess, human-like is very realistic. It adds to it, but then takes away, and understandably why it is that way. Especially like Bowser, like people are like, oh my god, there's a bunch of, I don't follow a lot of people, but it seems a lot of people are becoming a little bit of furries because of Bowser recently. I keep getting like people getting getting recommended on my Twitter feed about like someone liking this tweet, and a lot of the tweets are like, oh my god, Bowser's hot, oh my god, Bowser's so sexy, oh my god, look at Bowser, he's so hot. I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's a dragon lizard turtle thingy. What? Jesus Christ. But yeah, like his design was very well changed enough for, oh my god, I just popped out of a completely different position. Changed enough for that medium. Mario's was pretty good too, but I guess it's just a little wonky just because of being used to like a different look. Sorry, my nose is like running now. My nose is running. Ooh, I'm still pretty sleepy though. I like went to bed at like 4 and I woke up at 11. I kept waking up in and out all night, and it was not fun. Happens a lot. Anyway, but yeah, just depends on the medium. Depending on the medium. So yes, I'm trying to say. I saw a post estimating Bowser's. Oh my god. Oh my Jesus. Of course his thing. I'm not surprised people are wondering. Oh my. I'm sorry, now I'm just thinking about it and I'm just disappointed in humanity. Disappointed. I was thinking I had to take 2 minutes to process exactly. I mean, I'm not surprised because like there's a whole like, isn't like a canon that like in DR like the male characters have like canon sizes. Like, you may, when it comes to design, unless it's important, you don't really want to like, you don't really have to think about that. But like, I guess that's I guess you can for like if you're writing like an ecchi thing or like something. It's, I guess, make sure to factor that in and be like, oh, they're this long. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay. Are you gonna watch Social Eyes? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Probably gonna watch a bit of it. Since Tiny's gonna watch it, I'm like, yeah, why not? It's gonna be new, and I already know that deal with it. And since it's all new characters, it's not gonna be too hard to get back in. I witnessed a video where a guy estimated the mid-year cast thing, and I think it was about an hour. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I mean, understandable. I mean, it's debating. It's talking about like why this person's this big and why this person's this big and why you think this much. So like I can see why it took an hour. Anyway, yes, it all depends on the medium. Now back to like actual design. How do I get into like actual designs? Because it all depends. There's all types of designs that you want to get, that you may want to like factor in. There's so many categories. And like I said, less is more a lot of times, but I feel like that's more so for animation or like things that move. While like for like sprites and still images, it's really good to go crazy because you know it's a still image. You want people to look at something. And even for VTubers, they're technically a still image and not being constantly animated. They're just being slightly moved around, so it's okay. They're basically like sprites that move. So I guess like sprites and VTube models are like similar design philosophy where you can just go crazy, especially if it's like a very like fantasy, well not fantasy, but like a not our real world where people are basic. Like in a lot of my worlds, a lot of people are like wearing clothes that like you'd see in Chanel or like very like high fashion stuff, but like in my world, quote unquote, a lot of people are like able to just wear those clothes because they're just similar types of clothes. And like some designer stuff is affordable in my world, or like designer looks are affordable. Pardon me, I keep having to burp and I feel like I need a burp, but I just don't. No, there we go. But yeah. Ooh. So you have to kind of like, I guess like, it's hard to put in the words because it's like there's so much to do with like design, especially if it's not a specific character. Best I chose, is my character crazy? Do they go out of their way? Do they think about what they wear? If so, then what would they wear? What would they think about? Because a lot of times you have to think. A lot of times you do have to think realistically. Like, is this what they naturally would wear and put on? Assuming they're like human and just normal people, they go out of their way to put this on or do this. Because a lot of times, like my character, like her outfit is like just automatic. She can change it. Like that's just how it is. Like, because like, yeah. It's not just the uniform she can put on and off. She can also like magic it off, I guess. There's not a better word for it, but like spell it off and it goes away. So it's not like going crazy isn't like too much. Isn't too hard for my character. But like for like a person who's like just a normal person who doesn't have that ability, are they able to like, do you think they'll go all their way to like put a bunch of rings on, do their earrings, do their hair, put on some makeup, have the money to put crazy outfits on? Imagine Monokuma. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think because it's basically V3, but like, it's basically. I feel like that's basically Kibo, because like, how do I say this? In the open, this is kind of related, but also not. In the opening of DRV3, you can see Kibo's outfit floating in the air, so it's like he may be a robot, but I don't think all that extra stuff is actually robot pieces. I think he's just a normal cyborg person, but his robotic outfit is literally just an outfit. Because it's floating in air. It was like floating like clothes, like cloth. So like I feel like it's like an actual outfit. So like I feel like his outfit would be probably the most uncomfortable because he's still kind of a robot. It's like, yeah. I feel like crazy good girl. Yes, me too. But yeah, where it's like, I feel like his is probably the most uncomfortable and ugly. Or it's not ugliest, but just the most uncomfortable. I'm trying to think if there's any character that's like human, like confirmed to be human that like has a very uncomfortable outfit. I think through all the men, the ladies. I mean, I guess like Angie's would probably be, but like she's supposed to be an eye in there, so like she's kind of used to it. But still, like imagine wearing like a coat and a bikini, basically a bikini for the entire time you're in a killing game. That would be so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. Imagine if he gave someone like a Spike outfit. Like they can't even like Spike ring, Spike everything. It's like, oh god damn, they can't even sit near people. What was I talking about earlier? Oh, but yeah. Just factor that in. Factor in if they're human, would they be able to afford this in their world? Would they be able to do this? Would they be willing to like have the energy to change into this? Or if they do, what would make it, or if you like are set on a specific look, what would make it easier for them to put it on if they're like a lazy character type? Like a lot of people have like those striped sweaters with like holes in them that look cool, but it's like easy to put it on. You be stuck for years and literally. I mean, I feel like Miyu kind of fits it though. Like I feel like she's the kind of character to go out of her way to wear those. Like she'd want to wear those compared to like, I don't know. I mean, I get, because that's the thing about DR characters is that a lot of them, like, their personalities fit the idea that they go out of their way to wear those things, rather than like, you know, just being uncomfortable and just unable to do it, compared to like some. Oh yeah. She does look uncomfortable, whereas scared to wear all the time. Yeah. If we're talking about Angie, but Miyu, I feel as though she'd be the type of person to wear it. Like, I don't know, she's just, her personality fits the idea of like her, like I can imagine her like waking up in like pajamas and then putting all that stuff on. I can imagine her doing it. Well, Angie, I'm kind of iffy. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like she's like a nudist and only wears stuff for the sake of everyone else, rather than like because she just, I don't know, she just seems like a person to like be so free she wouldn't wear clothes. But like, of course, since it's a DR game, she would wear clothes. But yeah. You know what would be a fun motive? Monokuma gives everyone new outfits, but they slowly get smaller. They can't. That death by fashion. That would actually kind of suck. That would suck. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I would never. I mean, I wouldn't kill for it. But like, I'd be uncomfortable. Like at some point, they're gonna have to either rip or like stop shrinking. So it's like they're just gonna be uncomfortable at some point. Those to like restrict actual like blood flow, then like, hello. Also like really cool like design clothes. Like they're all like prison uniforms that are shrinking in like a very like interesting way. Like a street jacket look, or not street jacket. Straight jacket. The jackets people wear when they're in insane asylums, like something like that, where like they're all like really well designed, but like they have like straps on them. They're meant to get tighter. That'd be cool. Like the straps automatically get tighter. Oh my god, that'd be so cool. That would. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about that. Sorry. Now I'm obsessing. That'd be a cool like thing to do, like in a death game, instead of like having like cool like blow up bracelets or like injector necklaces and all that stuff. It's like just close with straps that like basically restrict your movement and cut off blood flow to the point you can't move or anything. Like that'd be cool. That would be cool. I'm sorry. The one scene with Miyu and Kiba though. No, we're talking about that. We're talking about fashion, not this unholy being. Not that unholy scene. Streakless. I'm streakless. Yes. Sleechless? Sleechless. I don't know what that means. Words. Speechless. I'm sorry. I can't read. I can't discern certain words. What are we talking about before? We were talking about something before. I can't remember. Let me scroll back up. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I keep repeating this. But yeah, what would your character wear? Like, will they go out of their way to wear it? Basically. And if they're like an ethereal being, would they wear something more realistic? Like, would they be like the kind of creature to like wear something that's like a human outfit, or would it be like kind of out of the range of human beings? Like, again, there are a lot of outfits in the VTube community where characters like have outfits that are like skin tight, but then like fades into their skin and stuff like that. Like but in real life that would be impossible. Like, what are the, I guess, like, how realistic and or ethereal is your character? Okay. I thought I was, oh my god, everything stopped and it scared me. I was like, oh shit. I'd want to wear a corset. I'm good. I'm gonna die. I'll die. Ski legend. Literally. Yes, literally. Me too. Me too. Me too. No. Sorry, I can't. I like I keep doing like I talk a lot with my hands and like do like silly. Most of my comedy is based on like my hands and like what I do. So it's kind of it kind of feels weird to like do funny things like I always took my hair behind my hair behind my ear in like a silly way just to be like, hey, yeah, you're right. But yeah, as a joke. But yes, what would your character be able to afford if they're human? And if they're not, what would show that they're not human, or if they were willing to go more human outfit direction? And what would they wear outside of that if they were to blend in with humanity? If they wanted to, what would they wear? I want to draw your character and told you. Oh, you can. You definitely can. Also, again, you don't have to draw myself specific, like how. I always say this. My character design is crazy. You don't have to draw me exactly the way I am. You could just draw like basically if I were a normal human, remove like basically all the crazy stuff. Because under this, the only real thing that like I would keep consistent is my mouth, I guess, my stomach mouth. If I were to say something that's like, oh, you can probably like keep it. Because like, I feel like that's a very important part. And same with like my cheek and mole and brows. Basically anything that's like a part of me, like skin and like my horns, keep or not, that's kind of meh. But like basically, I already have things on me that like would show like this is who I am. Like even if I were to change character or outfit, you can tell it's me because of like small things like my birthmark, my mole, my dark skin, my mouth and my stomach, stuff like that. And that's another thing about design. Is your character if you were to change their outfit, are they able to be recognizable? Or like if they were to change their hair type or anything, would they still be able to be recognized? Is their body or features recognizable? I can't believe out of all Total Drama characters, Dawn is the only one that never got injured. I know, right? I mean, just because she's cool and she's like mysterious, so she's like, I know how to not get hurt, so I'm good. She's amazing. I love Dawn. She's my favorite too. She's one of my favorites. Lashana is my number one favorite though. She's my but Dawn is like a close second. They have a lot of good characters in the show, really, like personality wise. When drawing into their style, it's geometric, not free flowing. So yeah, it's very much stiff. But yeah, that's what I was saying about like designing your character to be able to be turned into different mediums. Like basically, if you were to take away my horns and my outfit and my flower, you could still recognize me with my hair and my birthmark and my mole and my teeth mouth or my stomach mouth. So like, I guess if you have those, it's still recognizable. But even then, it's not like I'm not the dictator of fan art or like fan works. Y'all can draw me how you like, as long as you're like, oh, this looks right to you. I'll still love it. That's what happened with what's her name? They drew me an execution, a thingy. They drew me a thingy, and I want to show it. It's cool. It could be one of my favorite characters. Is stereotype of literally. I know, right? I'm just. Oh my god, my face went weird. I know. I'm personally not ashamed of it. I love Lashana too much. I love Lashana. I can't help but love her. I know she's a stereotype, but like, she's overrated because we don't see much of her though. So what? She's still amazing. Hold on a minute, because now I want to show you. Sorry, now I want to show you, god damn, I can't remember the name. There we go. Shrug. That's what it was. Shrug. Shrug's execution of me. It's not, like, super crazy, But like they said they're making a thing, and I'm just excited. I'll show you. Yes, yes, they made me a thing, and I love it. True, but I think since she got eliminated early, people changed their ideas of her and how they like it. Kind of, I guess. I'm not sure. I just like her. I just find her funny, and she's like the only few, like she's only the one of the few characters that are able to stand up for herself against like bad people in the series without like being completely evil. Like that's what I notice a lot is a lot of characters that stand up to other characters are usually depicted as evil or really dumb, and she's neither dumb nor evil. And I'm just like, oh, thank God, thank Jesus, thank you Lord, thank you Lordy. But yeah, hold on. I mean, I'm gonna transition to Shrug's thing so we can watch it together because it's so good. Dawn is awesome. Dawn is amazing. Dawn is the best bitch. I'm not sure if I can play the music though. I mean, I know that a lot of times it's okay to play DR music because it's OST, but like, I'm not trying to run over it. Yes, that's why she's amazing. Ah, there we go. Also, real quick, if I ever show my page, my whole my thing, and it has a lot of right wing stuff, it's because for some reason YouTube Shorts. I like to watch a lot of. I do like to watch YouTube Shorts. They always go into like, because I like watching also like a lot of like r/am I the asshole and all that stuff, and like I'll like videos, and then it like basically goes into like a right wing leaning rabbit hole because I'll be like, oh, I like this, oh, I like this, and then there'll be like creators who like are like black women who like are really right wing and racist, um, and like I'll be like, oh, they're cool, and then I'll look into their stuff and be like, oh, they're not cool. They would kill me if I was with them. So a lot of stuff that like I would be like, oh, this is good. They have a point, and then I'll look into stuff and they'll be like, oh, never mind, they do not. There's a little stuff in here. It's by Shrug. It's by Shrug. Look it. Look at them. Look at them. They made this. And I want to watch. Oh. Turn the sound on. And let me turn this up. Okay, not that loud. Amazing. It's also really interesting to see their process. I like seeing people's processes in art. Oh, flash warning. Sorry. I forgot to say flash warning. I'm sorry. I completely forgot. I keep forgetting. I'm so sorry. Anyone? Is everyone okay? Is everyone good? Hopefully. Everyone okay? I totally forgot to say flash warning. I completely forgot how flashy it is. Okay. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna make it smaller just in case. Just in case, I'm gonna make it a little smaller. I don't want anyone like discovering something new about themselves from this video. It's still pretty big, but I'll be okay. Anyway, what? But yeah, it's really interesting their process. Love it. Oh, and they were like messaging me worried about like how how like they were worried about like how everything was colored and like how everything was and like if I would like it and all stuff. Guys, I like your fan art regardless. It doesn't have to be perfect. I love getting fan art and I love looking at all this. Beautiful every time. Every time. Every time is amazing. I watched it like 6 times or 7 times now. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm sorry. I just really like looking. I get so shitty. But yeah, but yeah, y'all don't have to worry about like getting something perfectly right or like getting my whole thing completely right. You guys can shit as long as basically I look the same, I guess. And you're like, oh, this looks enough like her. Then I love it. I'll love it. I'll like it, retweet it. I'll save it. I'll do it. Yes. So y'all go crazy. if if you want to. This is not me asking for fan art. I'm saying just for now because I see a lot of people always saying like, oh, I want to draw you in this or I want to draw you doing that. And I'm like, why your design's so crazy? Y'all can just, it's okay. It's okay. Y'all do your process. I'll still love it. Austin, did you know what execution's about? Not yet. They're keeping like a secret. They're like, they said they're gonna make it something a little bigger. So I'm just like, oh, oh, oh. And I'm just like really hyped. Also, like I said a bit ago, I'm in this like fan project with this gotcha game. And like, it's pretty cool. It's really cool. It's really cool. And I'm surprised with like all the pieces that they have in the gotcha game that they were able to like, get so close to like what I look like. Like it's not like I love it. It's beautiful. I'm like, oh my god, it's me. It's me. And I think I react to it on here, but it's like, oh my god, it's so cool. It's so cool. But yeah, now you can see all this stuff. I do listen to ASMR. Don't judge me. I love ASMR. Like I said, I tried it a bit ago. It was okay, but like I'll probably have to do it like really late in the deep night when everyone's passed out to do it, because like it's never quiet enough to do it here. Because every time I do ASMR or like I like practice or like record, someone's always awake or waking up, and it goes crazy. Anyway, back to the room. So yeah, fan art, beautiful. Do what you like. Do how you like. Put me whenever you like. Just whatever makes you comfortable. A lot of the stuff on me is stylistic, like my eyes. They don't have to be like bowl shaped. They can just be normal pupils. I just thought it was cute to have bowl shaped eyes with the star glow. But like they're not like actually like the only things. Like they're not like a part of me. It's just fun. Realistically, it's not real. Stylistically, it's me. Like how like with the VTube Academy model, I have like heart-shaped eyes and like triangle eyes, but that's not actually like canonically the eyes the way the insides of the eyes are shaped, or like how the light hits them. It's just pretty. So go crazy. And even my hair, like the white stripes, aren't specific either. They're just like I don't even get them right every time. I just like put random white stripes in my hair sometimes. Like when when I have drawn myself, I just like white stripes. There we go. Just everywhere. Speaking of design, what ideas were you having when you design medicine? Okay, so about my project anything. I did have an idea. And I do have like what's the word? Like the idea of the world, and I have the setup for the world itself. But basically, I'm rewriting it. So like at this time point, it's basically scrapped, and I'm redoing it. But I've been so obsessed with the go hard. Do you really, really, really wanna go hard? I remember I was obsessed with that animation meme for like with some creators, because like I really like the animation. A lot of the characters have really cool designs and were really hot. But yes, I feel that. But yeah, as for the designs, they're basically gonna be the same, but like changed up slightly. I changed up the main girl's design completely just because I felt like, there's not a lot of black protagonists, and I was like, ugh, you know what? I'm gonna black because I can't. And then I made her basically like a really shy, like artsy girl, compared to like a lot of the characters that are like, they're shy, but they're more so just not confident. But they're not like actually shy. They're usually very much just like Suichi. He's not shy per se. He's just not confident, which is slightly different. I mean, she's shy and not confident, so that kind of plays into itself. But not like to the point of like Mikon or like the cuter characters. And their designs again are gonna be similar, and like some of them probably aren't even gonna change. You can have like an art update, and like how because like Tangmei, I made it for her VTUBING. I didn't know how to do a hairline at the time, so her hairline's a little wonky. But now I know how to do a hairline. So if and when I get to the project, again, just small things. Most of them are just getting art updates rather than like full on design changes like Kayla got. While for things like this Nathan, his design's probably gonna stay very similar, but just gonna be slightly more slightly more. Yeah. Well, probably slightly less, because like he's a very like lazy character overall. He's a helper type, but he's very lazy. Oh, okay. So this isn't like set in stone, but like I remember the first time I made Madness Night, I pulled a Kaede, but well, I basically pulled a Suichi, where basically what happened was like, you know, the main character was set up to be like, or I guess like a Sayaka, where Nathan was set up to be like a helper character who just kind of like meh, but he seemed very helpful. Well, the idea at first, again, this was like the first idea I had, so it's like out the window already, maybe, because I'm just, again, it's back to the drawing board with it. But he was gonna be like the first killer, and like because they're record-breaking talents rather than like ultimate talents, a lot of their like things aren't like set in stone, so like they have other abilities and talents. That's the thing about my world. They're not Hope's Peak or anything like that. It's the Guinness World Record place, and because, you know, it's a fan, again, I already can't make money, so I can use Guinness World Record things because it's not making money off it. So yeah, like the idea is like basically they all broke records of some kind. That's why they're called record breaking students rather than like ultimates. Or like, I guess I could to keep ultimates, but like I like the initials of record breaking. Arby's, it's good move food. But yeah, where they're not, they're more loose. It gives me the ability to like be more crazy with their talents and more specific. Like there's multiple kinds of actor record breakers, whether it's like overall record breakers where they like broke multiple records and they broke like every single record ever in this specific field, versus when someone breaks a record for a specific field, or like multiple people break a record for one field. It's like, it all depends. So that's why I made them record breakers, because it just makes it more fluid and helps with like adding more weird people to it. Because like, it's one thing scouting like students, because, you know, students are going to be very like, yeah. It also, all the characters aren't in high school. It's like a high school college mix, where, you know, a lot of them are like either above 18 or just right under 18, like barely under 18. Most of them are over 18 though. So like a lot of times there's like that's why a lot of characters are like a little older, because a lot of them are adults. And so like, you know, it gives a little more room to like, oh, they're the reason why I'm like this because like when I had a wife and kids, this happened, or like my grandchildren. Okay, I'm not gonna have students that old, but yeah. And as for designs, I'm just gonna make it more of them, because their designs do fit into their current backstories, but I just want to like change it up slightly. Like like Flana, I'm probably gonna make her like a little thicker, just a little thicker, because like her backstory is basically like, it's not fat phobic, but it's like basically her backstory is that like her father, like, she was bullied as a kid, and like she was very unconfident, and like because her father like was owned a factory of like a popular snack brand, she mostly ate those and like got them for free, and so she'd eat her feelings and all that stuff. Well, I felt as though like making her thin, like completely skinty again, was not the move. So like I know for a fact her design, she's gonna be at least a little thicker, because I still want her to like her backstory be that she's bettering herself and how she wants to feel. And that includes her like physical changes, but she's not like completely like different. So like she's gonna have some a little heftiness to her after a bit. But yeah, like, and also, oh yeah, make sure your designs. I'm sorry, this like kind of like went crazy everywhere, but like, yeah, back to the designs. And speaking of that, it's always good to like have a backstory first, especially if it's like a character that's not like a VTuber of some kind. It's very much like not show-offy as best. Didn't you have a final girl character as well? The girl in the sweater. A final girl? Not A final, like a, what do you mean final girl? Like as in like, oh, go, I'm sorry, I didn't even see your your message. Oh, have a good day. Okay, say ya goodbye, and thank you. Um, um, oh, oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. What's her face? She doesn't have a name. Or kind of. I think she has like. This is for I was talking about for my comic that I was working on. I'm kind of low key working on right now. Cause like I know who you're talking about. Then she doesn't have a name, and none of the characters really have a name yet. Cause that's the one thing I hate is naming characters. Everyone jokes about like, oh, characters are hard to name. It's like, yes, they are. Very hard to name. I know the game, and I wrote out like the first like 2 to 3 chapters. And yeah. She doesn't have a name, but yeah, she's basically the final girl character. Well, she's the main character, not the final girl. I mean, I feel like there's a slight difference between main girl and final girl, because I feel like main characters, they're just main characters, while final girls are like characters that are like not technically the main cast, but they're the ones who are just mostly like looking out and like doing smart stuff, I guess. So that's why you follow them, rather than like for the fact that they're like they're important to the story per se, or like they do anything specifically other than run away. But yes. That's for a Death game I am planning on making a Death comic series, though. Like I'm contemplating making it a visual novel instead, just because like I love my characters, but I don't like having too simple of designs, and also I realize I don't like I have like too much work to be drawing comics, so I felt as though like programming and just having a few sprites and CGs would be a lot better, and then making side content with like maybe like short comics or like short cute things rather than like a full-on webtoons. Would it be better? I could have used them this whole time. Hold your boat. I'm just turning around, sending myself stuff. Actually, you know what? I think it's actually. Hold on. I'm gonna check Discord. Cause I swear I have it somewhere. I this whole time I was talking about designs, and I could have used my own characters as an example. Hold on. I think I changed their designs a bit. Hold on, I have to get like different pictures. Cause I know I did promotional art of it, or like concept art of it, for like the vibe and feel of everything. I like how I put the art up in their thing. Okay. I got the girls completely finished, I believe. Overall, like they're. Hold on. I'm changing it to the art area. Hello. Okay. So, I'll turn this on. I'm pretty sure 10 minutes would be good. Oh, I have to open my thingy. I gotta get out of my way. I need to do stuff. But yeah. Sorry, now that I'm talking about them, I'm like, oh my god, I could talk about them, because it's like, I don't have to be super secretive about this stuff. I can be as loud as I want to be with a bunch of characters I like, and a bunch of art I like, or of these guys. Because I feel as though with DR characters, you gotta be a little secretive, because you want the hype for it, and like you don't, and like you can like guess a lot of stuff for characters when they have talents, especially if it's like not close to being done. Like you can get a lot from character's talent. You don't want to guess too. You want to give people less time to guess, I guess. And the reveal is the thing that draws people a lot of time. Sorry, I'm like waiting for it to open. I think it. There we go. It's gonna take a second because like it's glitching, or it does this thing where like it's there but it's not. Oh. Why are you not working? There we go. Yes. Her. Hold on. I don't remember if I deleted things to make it fit. Ugh. Good times. I was saying, thank you. There we go. Okay, so these are the girls. I have half of the boys done, or masculine bodied people. Because, like, there's a mix of sexualities and gender that it's not really important, but, like, it's just, like, because one of the characters are non-binary, but they prefer to lean towards more masculine, while, dressing, like, a mix of feminine and with a lot of pastels and all that stuff, and, like, some, like, a pastel emo. Well, anyway, they're not in this lineup. I don't, because, like, yeah. Well, yeah, these are the character designs. As you can see, they're not, like, crazy, but, like, I can't do simple designs. I just feel uncomfortable when they're too simple. Also, yes, they aren't wearing shoes because I hate designing shoes and drawing shoes. But I got their overall designs done. And it's funny because, like, I like how I, like, designed them with socks and leggings and all that stuff, but then, like, I don't design their freaking... Also, she has toes because, like, I was too lazy. Like, they're all made from a base. This isn't the overall art style. That's why these aren't counted as design sheets. So those are just prefaces. They're gonna change slightly from, like, when they, like, get actual design sheets for when they're actually made into sprites and all that stuff. For now, they're just made from a base that I slightly changed so that I get their designs and, like, general facial features down. And then I can change them up to be, like, sprites. But yes, this is the man girl. Again, none of them have names. I want to make sure that none of the colors overlap too much. So, like, yeah. She's based on, like, a more, like the fashion inspiration I got from them is she's basically based on, like, Chanel and, like, designer stuff, but, like, a simpler, more quiet designer stuff. Hers is based on Y2K, kind of late 2000s, urban-ish look, with, like, bits of, like, being sexy, but, like, not really completely intentionally, per se. It's just comfortable. Hers is sportswear, obviously. She's somewhat of a bodybuilder, and, yeah, and, like, I was, like, I didn't really get a specific look from this, but I do remember seeing, like, a pattern similar, and so, like, I added it over, and yes, I did make her logo mad, because, like, I couldn't think of a name, so I just made a fake, sports brand called Mad, or, yeah, where, like, you know, it adds a little pop of red, and also is a reference to me, the creator. Hers, I was going for, like, a librarian, but, like, a very, like, high, like, somewhat high fashion-y librarian, and this is what I was talking about with, like, plaid patterns, is that there's ways to make plaid and things that, like, have certain connotations look fancy and nice. And she's, like, the smarter character, can, you know, helps out quite a bit, and, like, overall, her design isn't, like, crazy, but the thing that's really helping it is her, gloves and jacket. And her, she's based off, like, influencers. Yeah, there you go. And hers is based off, like, design, like, influencer kind of looks, where she's, of course, she's not crazy design, because I don't want them all, like, too designed at the moment, because, again, these were ideas I made when I was assuming it was a comic. But yeah, and, like, she's based off a TikToker I like, mixed with a few other TikTokers I like, and, like, yeah, says mixed, and I'm still kind of, like, the hat I'm still iffy on. I still want to change her hair up probably a bit. Overall, yeah, she has, like, I made sure that she had, like, a nice, like, rounder body type, like, her fupa kind of, like, showing through, because she's the kind of person to, like, be confident about herself. She likes feeling sexy, and, like, her body's sexy, because it is, all bodies are sexy. This is basically all of them near done, or basically done, and here's the concept art I did a bit ago, and as you can see, some of the designs have changed slightly. Hers is a little more, like, reserved now. Hers is a little bit more, like, I guess, like, how do I say this? Less cowboy, I guess. Cowboy-like. She didn't really have a design, really. I just like, oh, I need a new character, and then like I was like, buff woman, buff. Thank you. I'm so glad to do, because I really was like trying to be like sensitive without making it look like, because like I know that some people have very like, there's always a specific plus size look to women that is often very popular. It's the like the thin waist, thick thighs, and big breasts look, but like a lot of women don't like that. So like I wanted to have like a bit more of a less popular apple shape or pear-ish shape. Like the main yellow girl. The one above. Thank you. This is the person that's as I described as like pastel emo, who's like non-binary, so they don't have a gender per se, but they're like kind of a mess, but like a pretty mess. Plum girls, so thank you. Oh, I'm glad. This guy, I changed his design a lot. He looks almost nothing like this anymore. He looks similar. He has the same idea with like the cute bit with like his like masculine look. This guy, the second guy. Where you know he has the whole thing going on where he's like he's basically, you know, the whole thing going on. Just like the more like cooler kind of like guy with like his nice suit. Her, of course, glasses and everything. Basically, not a lot of hers changed other than the gloves. Again, all of them have shoes in this, so yeah. The orange-haired guy. I try to make him like a silly kind of hot nerd. Adrian, can we take a moment to appreciate the shading? Thank you. Thank you. This one I tried really hard on just because like I was like really wanted to make it into a thing. It was like concept. What's the concept? I just went crazy. So you made all of these characters? Yeah, I did. Yeah, from Switch. I tried to make him like, I guess like I tried to make him similar because I knew that I wanted like not just one like nerdy-ish character, and like, you know, there's always cool guys that look cool even with glasses or without their glasses, so I want to make sure he still had them. So I put him on his head. He has little horns. He's been, you know, he's like a sunflower. He's not like crazy. And I called him Hot Dude because, like, you know, behind him right here, he's like emo, like an e-boy look, but like lazy. And of course her, all beat up still, basically the exact same, minus like some smaller details, like I probably still need to add. And then this boy, he angry. He's supposed to be the pretty kind. He's a pretty boy. Like the diversity. Thank you. I need to add more like people. I mean, there's only one black woman, so like I just want to add more. Probably like making one of the characters a little darker shade, not just have one like black woman. But yeah, their diversity wasn't like a big thing, but a lot of people in here are like mixed or like are like POC, but they have lighter skin. I just kind of want to add a little more. Oh, hello, welcome. The cast of characters. Oh, these are for a comic slash visual novel thing I've been cooking my brain for a long while. It's not even close to done, but yes. Will they be in a game? I want them to be in a visual novel more so than a comic, so I'm leaning towards visual novel, but I still have to learn how to make a visual novel first. I know this is for a different death game, but have you thought up if you were if they were in Danganronpa? No, I have not. Again, that's why I made that's why I made this, because I didn't want to have to deal with like Danganronpa, because there's a lot of tropes I feel I internally feel very held back by, even if it's technically not a restriction. And so like in this is mainly meant to be like a practice mini comic or mini thing that I wanted to try, rather than like a full like whole like multiple chapter thing. I mean, it may have multiple chapters, but it's like not like a whole big giant thing. And I also, because like I feel like with DR you expect, you know, some death, but like you don't expect intense gore. And this is basically my crazy comic that I'm gonna like go crazy with gore when it's there. I'm not sure how many characters are gonna die or like what order they're gonna die in, but I know when they do die, it's gonna be gory as fuck, absolutely complete gore. Thank you. I'm glad. Again, this just because they look good doesn't quite mean this writing's gonna be good, because I'm actually a really bad writer. So like, a while ago I asked someone for help, but they, of course they're busy. So yeah, I'm gonna be good. 1 minute. I'm gonna get my other things so I can show the boys' designs, the ones that are done at least. 1 minute. Oh, done it to myself. So it's a death. Yes, it's a very. That's why I'm very comfortable in death games. So like, it's still gonna be a death game, but it's not gonna be DR where it's like you have to murder someone. It's basically one of those games where like technically no one has to die, but like, you know, greedy characters are gonna be greedy. You're actually working on a comic strip visual novel. Yeah, I'm very passionate about it. But you know, because of money, and I have to continue like, you know, working on making sure I don't be poor. A lot of things are like on the back burner. That's why a lot of things have been taking so long, because I've been working on commissions. It's gonna take a second because like this thing's freaking dead. My old tablet. You think it will be done by? No, no, no. I don't think so. Again, this is like fun and for on the back burner. I do want to make it a visual novel though. I don't know how. That's the thing, is that I don't know how. I'm working on like using RenPy and like adding design elements and having the reason why it's so simple in terms of like layout too is because I don't want it to be super crazy. And like, it's supposed to have like an oppressive atmosphere. That's why the characters are like surprisingly like colorful, because they are the ones who add the color and add the extra thing, while the background is kind of meh, not really the most important. But like, I was thinking maybe the room theme changes every room. Like the first one's all cement and kind of boring. The next one changes like a normal living room look, but same layout, I guess. Basically, it's still in the idea phase. I wrote like 2 chapters that I still need someone to go over to make sure it makes sense, which I'm probably gonna scrap because like I need to redo that. I had this essay concept in my head for a while. It has a similar concept where no one has to die, but some do. But then out of nowhere, there's a movie that had the same concept. Oh, what was it? What movie? At them, sis. Be angry and be like, man, they stole my idea. They stole it. A minute. This tablet moves like super slow. That's, yeah, you've seen the tablet. It's like really, really slow. And I'm just looking through my stuff to see if it's like in my gallery already. I can like, what's the word? So I can yeet it on there. Yeah, I had a different design. Okay, 1 minute. I have to download it. At them, sis. At them. What is the movie? Keep the idea in the on the background. Says note you might be able to put. Yeah, like my idea isn't, because like I started thinking. Basically, it's not spoilers because it's just how it is. But this thing is based on rock paper scissors. Again, easy, not too hard, nothing crazy. Because I always wanted to make rock paper scissors into a death game, but of course there were already multiple death games, especially like this one anime. I think what's it called? Starts with the K. Kenji. No, not Kenji. Something. It's a gambling series and manga. And it turns out the first game on there and like is rock paper scissors. And there's another movie out there about rock paper scissors too. I'm like, there's already rock paper scissors. Kaiji. Yes, exactly. See, it's already a thing. But I want to put my own creative twist, and I'm too lazy to change the whole like death game thing. So it's like, oh well. And like I know to me at least, I didn't take their idea, and it's like, oh well, still gonna roll with it because I still like the idea. I still had it before I knew about either of those animes. Surprisingly, oh my god, this thing's freaking everywhere. So yeah, it's okay to have similar ideas or similar death games and all that stuff, as long as you're not like ripping it off. Like a minute. Oh my god, it's really low down here. Here it is. I'm gonna have to like, hold on. I have to do a bunch of shit because this thing's so slow. It's gonna take a bit to get the male designs all like. To get all the male designs out of this freaking crappy tablet. And yeah, it is. Oh my god. I do not care. Hopefully this isn't like too much. There we go. Let's try it by email. And if the file's too big, then yep. Hold on. Just going for it. Okay. It should be sent to my email, and I can actually get it on screen in a bit. Sorry, now I'm back. It was called Zero, but I can try to shape it differently. I think I'll try to find a way to mold it. Yeah. This I can show the male designs now. I'm pretty sure if it did it right, because sometimes it does that thing where it's like, oh, you did it, and I actually didn't. Oh, come on. Hold on. Oh, here we go. But it stays. Okay. Okay, the male designs are here. Again, only 3 of them are done out of this 6. And you can see the process that I did. I'm gonna have to disconnect and reconnect. I forgot that this turned off. Make sure all the layers are on. Yeah. Okay. Should be good. Nope, it's not good. What? Why'd you not connect? Hold on. Please don't. We're gonna work. If you die on me now. There we go. Okay. And as you saw, the guy was on yellow, and now I changed the design to something a little more reserved. But like, still has the cute things. Again, I need to give him like paw shoes. And this is how I do it. I just take a base that I made and then just like mold it around to make it easier for me to do. Main character, looking guy. All the little, let me turn off his layering after it. Where it's just, you know, it's the normal guy in a suit, little under jacket. I think I forgot to give him pockets on his shoulder. Yeah, a little scar on his neck. His little piercing holes, cause he was a rebel and now he's a good boy. He's a good boy now. And emo. Again, they were gonna be comics, so like his design was reduced, but I may add his jacket again and like give him headphones and such. Again, because like yes, give him like different colored brows and pretty eyes. I like men with eyelashes. They're always so good. They're always so pretty. He's your favorite boy, him. He's my favorite. Just because I like the hair. I like the e-boy look without going like he's basically an e-boy type, but minus the like e-boy versus fuckboy. I feel like he's more like a e-boy than a fuckboy. Thank you. I like them. Like these feminine comments based on. Oh, it's not based on armor, but it's just a death game. And this is like, again, just the basic base style. So like, a lot of it's just like meh, with my like style mixed in. As you can see, like things like noses and all stuff I'm still working on. Like a rebel. He is very much a rebel. He is a wanderer. Like basically just travels around, walking everywhere. And so like he's kind of laid back. He's kind of a comedic character. He's the kind of character to go like, I've seen it. It's I don't care. I've seen it. Like someone literally dies in front of him. He's like, huh, interesting. Anyway, no, but like yeah, he's just basically seen everything. He doesn't care. It's like he's gonna be one of the main side characters. Probably, I don't know. He looks so cool. I want to be here in real life. Yeah, he's pretty laid back. Him, he's kind of like, well, I mean, he's basically like a main character type. He's very nice, very sweet, very thoughtful of people. He talks about like just random stuff. He's very, I mean, he's very normal, I guess, if you were to describe him. Very much, I guess, a Makoto-ish type, where nothing crazy's happened. He doesn't really say like, oh, well, he talks about his past, 'cause, again, that's why I have like these little dot piercings on his body, because he was a rebellious teen, but now he's more of like a businessman type. And then him, he's like, you know, he's kind of like a dad / uncle type. Like, he's basically the reason why he doesn't like dislike this style, but it's not his stuff. It's like sweet boy. He is very nice. He's kind of temperamental at times, but he's very much sweet. He's very kind. But he's like, if I were to compare him to a character that's already exists, I guess you could Kyutaro person, like, in terms of like being kind of conflicted in terms of what to do. Oh, he looks like a sweet boy. Oh, he is a sweet boy. They're all sweet boys in their own way. In their own messed up way. But yeah, he wears this crazy stuff because like his niece got it for him, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll wear it for you. And he wears it because his niece likes it. And yeah, and so like he doesn't particularly enjoy it, but he's like, if she likes it, I'll wear it. So he wears it. And yeah, I just came up with a bunch of backstories. I'm still working on the other guys, or masculine bodied people. Turn the off. Oh, I disappeared, help me. Okay, I'm back. No, come on. There we go. Oh, my nose. But yeah, still working on it. Everything's still in the air, and like I said, that's why a lot of the designs have changed to be more simple. I'm gonna go back to the room. Oh, meet my cast of characters. I know you're the main character, but I like this character design better. The main the main character cries in it. No, but literally. He said one of them is non-binary. Not one of these three, but one of the emo one in pastel with their hair covering their eyes. They're non-binary. That's why I said like masculine body, because they enjoy having a more masculine figure, not manly figure. They're not like going through hormones or anything. They're just kind of they're not really going through like hormones or anything. They're just, how to say it, their gender expression is just kind of everywhere, and they personally think, yeah, I'm not really like I'm not into gender. I'm good. Screams fade memes. Yeah. Excuse. Let's go to the room. But yeah, as you saw, some of their designs have changed for the better, mainly the girls. The guys I'm still iffy on. And as you saw, all of their design pieces were changed quite a bit. Like the jacket for the first guy with the emo hair, or the like dyed part hair and all that stuff, because of what's the word? Because again, the medium is different, or was different. I'm gonna have to go over them for like, what's the word? Visual novel purposes, to make it more interesting to look at. Because now, as they're gonna be sprites, it's a little easier to draw them. So yes. Aside, I'm mainly leaning towards visual novel rather than a comic, just because like, I don't know, I'm just haven't had the time for a comic, haven't had the money for a comic, and I feel like a visual novel is just gonna be a little easier because it's like typing and programming, which I'm okay. I still have to learn about that, but there's a lot of tutorials on RenPy. That's what I'm using. I have it downloaded and everything. So it shouldn't be too hard. Thank you. I'm glad. And yeah. So what I was trying to talk about is that, as you saw, they're very much normal people. And like even the girl, the main girl that I said, like she's like based off Chanel and Dior looks and like designer stuff. But as you can tell, they're not like full on crazy. They're not like high designer or something you noticeably would say, oh yeah, that's definitely like a designer piece. It's very much, you know, it's very reserved. It's something you'd think is affordable. That's why when I said it's based on that rather than it is Dior, is Chanel, because it's like she couldn't afford that. No offense, it's just a lot of these characters aren't rich, so it's like you have to give realistic standards to those characters of what they can have or what they can afford or why they wear certain things, especially for a medium that has a lot of backstory. Well, things like VTubers and like shooting game or like gacha characters, a lot of times their backstories are like they're kind of important, but a lot of times it's just a bunch of cool looks, because you know they're gacha games, they have to have the cool looks in order to like get you in the game. They have very different design philosophies, and in that case money is no like real thing in their world in terms of like fashion, so a lot of characters naturally have a lot of like crazy design stuff and like absolutely insane outfits. Like for VTubers, a lot of times it's just crazy outfits because in their world there's no money, or they don't have to pay for money or pay for outfits, or their characters can make their outfits, or it's a part of them. And so I just always had to think about that. What's the difference between a visual comic and a comic? A visual novel. A visual novel is a video game. Basically, you know, the click kind where it's like basically what Danganronpa is a visual novel. It's you just basically click in, character sprites come up and they talk, and there's some gameplay bits and choices. But most of the time it's mainly just like it's basically just you're reading text at the bottom with sprites reacting. While a comic, of course, is like, you know, the characters are moving around, it's very active, it's everywhere, it's frames, shows different angles, and it's not sprites, it's different scenes, different stuff, different angles, different everything. And it takes a lot of work in terms of art too. Or it's only art basically. It's all showed through art. While visual novels are mostly like, you know, novels. Think of visual novel, interactive novel. Visually interactive novel. Interactive novel. Yes. Now, visual comic, I think that's, yeah, like I said, I think that's what you're thinking of. It's a visual novel. Visual comic, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think so. 1 minute, let me look it up, because it just sounds like a thing. For some reason, it's like ringing a bell. No, it's just a comic. No problem. I didn't know what the difference was either. I didn't even know, like a while ago, I remember not even knowing what a visual novel was called. I just remember being like, anime game with text. Oh my god, I have like a really bad like thing on my back. Ow. Me about invent visual comic? Yes. What would that be? Is that just like only a comic, like a story told through of comic but no words? Would that right? Right? I know, I'm never wrong. I'm always correct. I'm the correctest person in this stream in the world. Obviously. No, but yeah. Just make sure you know what medium you're using and what your character can get, what their world is like. Well, I have to go see you next week. Okay, bye-bye. I need to pick a specific day. I still need to pick a day. What's today? Today is... I don't even know what today is. Oh my god. Okay, it's Friday. It's Friday. Do I want to stream on Fridays or Sundays? Let's try Fridays, just because I feel that's getting into the weekend. I know a lot of you have like school and other responsibilities. Like Fridays are the days when you're just like, oh, I'm finally home. Okay, I still have the whole weekend ahead of me. While like Sundays are like the crunch days when you're just really like getting into work, and like for those who like are procrastinators. So yeah, probably Fridays. I'll be streaming more then. Oh yeah. I'll see ya next week. You have a good day. You can always follow me on my other stuff if you really want to like see what I'm doing in chat and Discord and all that stuff. Yeah. Do you also have any specific question? Because I realized I've just been rambling this whole time about like designs rather than actually asking questions because I was waiting for like a bunch of people to come in. Are there any like questions y'all have like about designs or like about like certain things I'd personally do when it comes to whatever your question is? Because like a lot of the things are like my opinions and reflections on things rather than like definitely right, definitely correct. I don't think there's any like design taboos other than like specific art ones because there's like it's different between like art and design because like art is like how you do it while design is how it is. If that makes sense. Basically, my design is never, you can change the design, you can change a art style, but you can't change the design. But you can always change the design, but you don't have to change the art style. You know. So that. How does your character design process look? How do you go about it? Okay, for me at least. Again, with all the idea of like, oh, is this real world? Is this where this is it a showy design or is it a design with a story? And what world is it set in? I think of that, and then in terms of like getting references and all that stuff, I go into the character's backstory if I already know their general backstory. It doesn't have to be written down. I just know their backstory. Like for my character, again, they were possessed by a little thingy. So and because I'm a VTuber, I went crazy on showy. But with my design, as you can tell, it's based on like milk, a milk delivery person, cows, blood and gore. So of course I have blood, bones, what else? Milkman, a cow head, flowers, just a bunch of references. None of them have to be connected at the moment. Just like a bunch of ideas. Even from my past designs, it still had the same idea of milk person outfit, horns, blood. But of course, I executed it very differently compared to how I am now. Where in my other one, I was more realistic in like having like overalls and like having like a very like normal shaped pants without the bell bottoms. Blood splatters, again, random, but like long sleeves because that's how they were. Like that's how uniforms usually are. They have long sleeves. But then, as I grew into myself, I realized, oh, this can be more crazy because I'm a VTuber. It doesn't have to be realistic. I don't have to have a look. I can something that looks like I can just go into a store and buy. I can literally make whatever I want. So I made it crazier, made the bustier, remade the hair, made everything more crazy because I knew this character the outfit isn't something I'm gonna buy. It's something that my character either made or created from themselves, or there's like an automatic outfit from the gods. And so I just went crazy. I got a bunch of other references of like designer stuff I always wanted to wear, stuff I really liked, stuff I thought would look good on me. And with my new body type, I thought, this is perfect. I could do this. And I continue with a bunch of stuff that in reality I wouldn't be able to afford, but I knew my character wouldn't need money. So all this stuff is like really well done, all crazy. And as for like putting it down on paper, I basically just sketched something real quick on paper. Did the whole like layout. Of course, at first I was kind of wonky. I was very stiff, which is a whole different idea. Like that's separate from design in terms of like character motion and all that stuff and how things flow. But yeah, I put it down on a piece of paper, sketched it out, knew what pieces I wanted and generally what I wanted to execute in that. But I went through multiple changes even within that short time, even with the ones that I ended up with. That wasn't that kind of like more like stiff wonky design look. It still went through many changes, went through many drafts. I had more like thinner hair that was bright red, but then I changed it because it just didn't look right with all my so you always have to go through not only flows in the shape but also just what looks good compared to other colors. because like I said, I had a lot of red, and I was gonna give myself reddish hair, but it looked ugly. I didn't like it, so I gave myself just dark brown, you know, like usual with white highlights, and made the hair more plump and crazy to add more of a silhouette to myself, so that if you were to see me in a lineup with just my silhouette, you'd probably be able to like guess who I am compared to like other people who have similar silhouettes. Because that's a very important part of it, is that you always want to make sure your silhouette is is unique to yourself. Like, even though your silhouette may be similar to characters, like the whole like hair ear thing isn't, and horns aren't original. But if you were to take my silhouette overall, you could tell who I am, or that I'm a completely different character to other people. Especially with my bell bottoms. And then I thought, you know, after a bit, like going over it, I just kind of like didn't like the old design and the stiffness, so I ended up changing a bunch of shit. And so now I'm like this, because I thought, oh, this could be better, just a little better. Which is like not really a design thing; it's more so just a personal thing where I was like, I could go bigger. I can go bigger. I can go bigger. So yeah, it's a mess basically. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a mess. My whole process is messy. It's in my case for my design currently, it was just a pile up of multiple things of basically growing into myself, having confidence in this is what I can do in this world and in my situation. And let's see. Let's show you how much research that goes into your design. You start with a writing character. Actually, no. I only had the idea in my head, like the idea of what my character is, and then I slowly built on it. That's also why I had so many concepts, because for VTubing, lore is actually a really new thing. It turns out, like that's why I didn't think of lore too much, because a lot of VTubers at the time did not have lore. It only became like a new thing with like Hollow Myth and all that stuff, and even then it was still like new, so I didn't flesh it out too much, but I did have an idea of who I was and what my character was. That's why, like, even in my quote-unquote past human design, there's a lot of elements that are similar, because of my lore, but I didn't like write out my lore. Now, as for research, it's surprising how hard it is to find like a milkman outfit, because like, Jesus Christ, like, you can see costumes, but it's hard to find authentic ones. But yeah, there's like small little things that I added, like I used reference such as Lily from Tekken, because I knew my character would be a fighter, or like would be combat oriented, so my gloves are combat oriented now compared to my past ones. The uniform for the milk outfit, again, I changed it because I was like, I don't have to be restricted by normal stuff. I can be crazy, and with fighting game characters, a lot of their outfits are crazy as well, so I was like, well, time to give myself booba window. And so yeah, and some small things like the reason why my eyes have like stars and I have some like space references is because of like I got stories from like the cow jumped over the moon, in that little kitty rhyme, and the poem from the cow that like was born with two heads and it saw double the stars that before it passed away. It's a very morbid cow poem, but it was really beautiful, so that's why I have stars in my eyes and like some star references at parts of me, and even before then, because I did some research in like things that relate to cows. And my flowers, I was looking up what things relate to death and all stuff, and what's a very deadly poison, because it turns out, I remember hearing about this a while ago, there's a certain flower that if cows eat, cows may not die, they may get sick, but they won't die, but their milk becomes poisonous when they eat their flower. It's called snake root. And in my old design, I did have like a clump of snake root, but because of my restrictions in terms of like canvas size, they look kind of weird. But I noticed that they look like lilies close up, so that's why I have lilies in my hair, because they look similar in terms of shape. They're the same flower, but I was like, it's a little better than having a clump of flowers everywhere that no one can really see as a blob. What else? What else in my design? I'm gonna like pull out myself. Hold on, let me put my drink. I'm gonna put down my drink and stand back for ya. And put this on too, because yeah, of course the milk to bones. Originally I had it like, the idea was that she stole her outfit from someone, but like I thought that was meh. So now it's just the outfit that appears. Also canonically, the blood on my horns isn't actually blood, it's paint. So like, basically I just paint my horns like makeup every day. The pants, I was like, in terms of design, I was like, what is something interesting that no one has done for a while? And I was like, oh, cut pants, where they're like, pants but not. I thought that was interesting. So I did that. And for the mouth, I was like, well, I'm not human, so like, mouth. And I thought it was cool as a belt piece. And it adds to like my whole like bones and teeth aesthetic. The lace was just for fun. There's nothing too deep in that. And then as for my shoes, I thought, what would hurt? What would hurt? What? And I thought, well, when you stomp on someone, that hurts. But like, imagine if you basically were bitten as you were being stomped on. So yeah, teeth shoes. Teeth shoes. Teeth shoes. Ooh. Ugh, go back. Oh. There we go. But yeah. Like, basically the research I did was like referential. Like a lot of it isn't like a specific, like one flowing piece of media or a specific piece of, I'm gonna put on some music because for some reason, why is it not playing? Because for some reason it's like, not playing. Anyway. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like one flowing thing. It be just an amalgamation of things and small references to make something bigger. Like I said, fighting game characters, I love fighting games, so I'm kind of fighting game looking, that's why I can take my pieces off as well. So it's like, oh, this is what I do when I'm fighting. I take these off. And like small little references, like the poem and the couch and the little rhyme, so like stars in my eye. And of course, because I'm a bull, I thought it'd be cooler if like I had a reference of bulls in my eye, if my horns would be ripped off, or like if I cut them, because I can cut off my horns. It's painful as hell, but I can still cut off my horns. Oh. Press the thing. And yeah. And of course, like little design elements, like my streaks are mainly just like, so that I don't get all completely like washed out. I feel like they add like a little bit of visual help. A visual aid of like, oh, leads back up to my face, or like it leads down to the rest of me. And kind of goes with that like flowy look that I have of like a triangular shape, I guess. I have a very triangular design shape of like the top pointed and then it gets bigger as it gets to the bottom. It's really neat that you put so much depth into it. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of this also was just for fun. Like, of course, my boobs, just because. The chains, just because I like chains. What else? A lot of this stuff on my face now is technically makeup. But like, overall, I'm fairly natural. Anything that's just like cool that I liked. The bones and all that stuff, just because. Healthy, strong bones, but like, and I eat bones, but like, the reason why is just because I like bones. I like making jokes about like taking people's bones, so it's like bones, obviously, bones everywhere. And of course, like the guy in the background who's constantly just staring at me. He was originally just like for fun, but now he has a little bit of a backstory with me. I'm not gonna tell you it yet, completely. And yeah. So, like, basically, the research I did is all small bits of a little bit of everything. It's not just one flowy piece of media or, like, a bunch of, like, specific things relating to cows. It's just, oh, this poem had a cow in it, so I'm referencing that. This rhyme had a cow in it, so I'm referencing that. This flower that relates to cows, there's another flower that looks similar that's bigger. Let's put that in. And blood, because why not? Because I like red. So yeah, a lot of it isn't like too deep, but like some of it does include a little bit of research that like if you really want like small references, you can. But that's just how I did it. But a lot of people already have like a full like backstory and like a whole different world. But my character's a bunch of references, basically. So yeah, that's how I did it. Any other questions? Because I feel like I'm not, like, for some reason I feel like I'm not doing a really good job like explaining it, but like I feel like I'm doing an okay job. So yeah, and like yes, what do you get inspiration from has to actually work on a VTuber channel, but you got math? I mean, you can do it on the side. It doesn't have to be like a final thing. You don't have to do it on a final thing. I'm glad you're getting inspiration from me though. Oh shit! I completely forgot my audio on my desktop was still playing. Thank God that it's like that my background music is loud and this is not. So thank God. What was I gonna say? And yes, you can always work on it on the side. It doesn't have to be like a main thing. And again, my channel is just for fun. I'm doing it for fun every once in a while, every Friday now. Which I should probably announce. At like in the afternoon, because I'm never gonna fucking wake up that early. And if VTubing ever becomes like a real job, I'll like stream more. But like right now, it's like more so for fun. So yeah. Man, and like there's not like crazy stuff. Like my nails were also just for fun because I think my nails are pretty. So like I was like, oh, these make my nails, and straps for fun. A lot of things is a mix of fun and references. I'm trying to think of anything else that I have of note. Of course, like I said, you always have to have the skin tone in mind. As you can tell, I'm fairly dark, so like I made my hair even darker so that I can like stand out a bit from the rest of my design, and I made my mostly everything white and black because obviously cow. But white, black, and red added in, and plus I have my birthmark on my face that does reference real life. So that's also why I chose a cow, because it's like I already got like some spots on me, so it's like someone's like it fits pretty well. And yeah, of course, like you don't have to have an animal design. I just chose to have an animal design just because I thought it was cute, and I like the idea of like if someone were to like make me a cute little thingy, I'd just be a cow. And also, it's good to always have like a design you can simplify. Like I said, is that like you can take away my horns, and you can take away my flower and my gloves and outfit, but a lot of things on me, even outside of my art style, would you'd be able to tell who I am. So it's very good to always do that. And I'm just learning to practice balancing studying and my mini passion project without getting burnt out. Yeah, it's hard to do that. I'm burnt out many times. As you can tell, I burnt out from streaming because of all the stuff I had to do. So like I had to like reduce my streaming. It's very easy to burn out, but it's okay to be like, yeah, I'ma just focus on studying, or like it's mostly important at the moment to focus on studying. So it's okay to be like, hey, I'm gonna focus on this. Like I said, I'm mostly focusing on commissions at the moment, but I still love streaming. Now that I've talked to everyone, I'm now gonna do it like once a week now instead of like once every 2 years. Still a schedule, but not as like tedious as like every day or every other day. I think your design is great, even if it's just being made of references. Yeah, exactly. Is that like I said, it doesn't have to be like a specific look or specific idea in terms of like having things. Like my design, like y'all think it's good, y'all say it's really good, and it's full of references, rather than like some designs are like more like in depth and backstory, and this is why this is here, and this is why this is here, and this is what. You don't have to have that. You can always have like, oh, I have this here because I like it, or because my character likes it. And also, if that's another thing you have to add on, is your model based on you, or is it a character that's not you? Because there's been like times where people have had VTube models that were not their skin tone, like Kenji, like Kenji. Obviously he has a character that's pale. Still, like, obviously references his blackness and like, you know, has like a more like dude bro kind of like vibe that fits him, but it's not exactly him. You don't have to have a character that's exactly you, but you have to understand the cultural implications if you're like a lighter skinned person. the milk variety of color, and you choose a character, and then you make a character like me, where it's like they're super dark. People are gonna assume that that you're probably dark when you're not. So it's always good to have a character that represents you, even if it's not you. But make sure to understand the cultural implications of that character, and if it's okay. Like Meriwether recently had a design of his model. Oh yeah, I realized I need a good mic. I don't have the mic right yet. I'm so sorry for going back. Oh no, it's completely fine. It's completely fine. My mic was like $60 something. Like this one right now. It usually sounds way more crappy, but because there's tutorials online about how to make your mic sound better in this. So you can tell that my quality has really upped since I got this mic. Like if you look through my past videos, you can tell that I'm much more fuzzy. I sound not as good on a technical scale, even though I have the same mic. It's mostly filters, so you have to work on that if you really want it. But this mic was pretty cheap, and as you can tell, it's not it's pretty good. It's not of course, it's not the big fancy mic quality, but it is clear and you can hear me, and it's not too crazy. So this mic, it's a blue Yeti, I think, the ball one. And it's probably good. You can do ASMR with that. You can talk. You can sing. It depends on the filters which are on here, which you can download that are safe. Just look up some videos. So there's affordable ways to get into it. And this PC isn't mine, but a lot of VTubers have laptops that they use. So you can always do that. And also, instead of doing a model, you can always just do a PNG for a bit. Like I said, that's always my pardon me. That's what I did for a bit. PNG, drawing myself as a PNG, trying to get into streaming. I was still working on designing my character, and I was like, PNG, it's good. So yes, you don't have to have the fanciest setup. A lot of VTubers like Kenji, he may have an area where he's sitting and chilling, but in a room. But a lot of VTubers have rooms where it's just a pattern on the background and then a chat window that they just draw, and then just have normal my notifications are no more basic because it's not a lot of people are here, so it's I don't need multiple notifications. So yes, and so you don't have to have crazy setup or crazy windows or crazy backgrounds. You can always have a very simple look. Though I would recommend, if you are going to be a PNG tuber, to have a moving background, one of those that you can make in an editor that you can just have on loop, that just slowly moves across the screen. So to add it, because that's the one downside of being a PNG tuber, is that it's very much still. So it's supposed to have some moving stuff that you can add. Like I said, the rain. In my case, I made the rain. I didn't know how to do the background though, because I don't have the editor. It's gonna cost a bit of money. But yeah, and then I have the scrolling thing at the bottom, which is pretty easy to do. And it adds that movement. So if you really want to be a PNG tuber and all that stuff, it's pretty easy to add some flow to your whole thing. You don't need anything crazy. You just need a chat box, a place to put your notification, a place to probably have names of people who followed and or donated and such to you, and maybe a few keys for expressions slash assets that you make, because I made all my assets because I'm a cheap bitch. So yeah, I always have VTuber help in my description always, so you can, there's always a bunch of free stuff that you can use, a bunch of stuff you can offer help. There's also cheap models you can get if you're really looking for just a model. So yeah, I'm a date for advice. Funny enough, 60 is a lot for me. Well, just because I'll be spending 90 on Murder Mystery Event at my zoo. Oh, and 40 for uni field trip. Oh, I should have had my friend, but damn. Okay. This may seem a little stingy, I always preface that, like, for me at least, I'm not really a gift person. That's why I always am surprised whenever I get a gift. So, like, I tell people, hey, you don't have to give me a gift. You don't have to give me anything. And so that they don't expect me to give them a gift. And basically I preface like, hey, I'm poor. I can't give you a gift. I'm sorry. I can make you something. I can try to do something. But likely, I'm probably not going to be able to. And usually they understand. So, like, if you're really worried about saving money and, like, in terms of, at most, you could probably either get a cheaper gift or preface to your friend, like, hey, I'm going through a hard time. I can't, like, to save money for yourself for other things, not just, like, VTubing. It's just general advice. But, like, if you're really having a hard time and you really don't want to spend too much, you can just preface to your friend, like, hey, because it seems like those other things are, like, very much set in stone that you can't quite haggle. But the birthday one is probably the easiest to haggle and or save for. Is say, hey, I'm going through a hard time. I can't. I may not be able to give you like a super great gift at the moment. And just talk if you're really worried about spending too much money. Again, this is not related to VTuber stuff. It's just my philosophy in saving money. And again, just because I'm personally actually not a gift person, not just receiving gifts, but like giving gifts. That's why I'm so like. That's why I'm always so like shocked whenever I get like fan art, or like I'm always so excited whenever I get something like that, because it's like it's a nice gift to be given, and I don't ever expect something, and I preface to other people like, hey, I'm going through a hard time. I can't give you stuff. So yeah, it's never bad to say, hey, I do not have the funds for this. Or I don't feel as though I have funds for this at the moment. So yes. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, cultural stuff. Yeah. Models and characters and OCs. If they like Merryweather, that's what I'm talking about. Merryweather's design. He recently got a new design based on a Chinese wear, like not a uniform, but like an outfit, where basically it was and like the reason why it was okay for him to wear that is his model to wear it is because it was designed by a Chinese viewer, and his stream members all were like, yes, we would like to see you in this outfit. It looks very good, and we said this is okay, so he was allowed to wear it. Compared to like other people who have done like stuff against like not really saying much. You already got the oh, but yeah, though normally I'm stingy, but lately I've been mostly spending, and I will work on it. Just be careful. It's okay. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing you got the gift. You do what you like, and it's very sweet that you got them a gift. And I wish I could do that more. But yeah. Just trying to impulsively spend stuff. Like it's always. Sometimes you always gotta put priority. Like, hey, I can't do this. I don't have the funds at the moment. Silly. It's always okay. It's always okay to say, nah, I'm good. I'm sorry. Nah, I can't spend money on this. Sorry. Like I haven't bought like new stuff, and like even for this Halloween, I'm just crafting a bunch of stuff to make a costume rather than straight up buying a costume because I don't have the money for it. And like I have myself I've been saving up money, so I kind of have enough money. I do have enough money to spend on. I could spend it on like a really nice costume. I'd rather DIY it because I am a cheapskate, and I'm not confident in that the money that I have will stay there forever. So cheap stuff. Oh, actually, I have a design for that. Real quick, hold on. I do have a design I made a sketch for my I made a sketch for my costume because it's meant to be like very simple. It's actually a mouse inspired look, and like I said, it's mostly based on like outfits I already have with like things I can craft. Thank you. I'm glad. Thank you. You can't see me do a weird face. I wish I made more expressions so that I can make weird faces, not just like creepy faces or blushy faces. It's like, oh my god, versus like how I actually look, which is like I do a lot of funny, silly expressions. Hopefully it's connected. Yes. These are outfits. I don't naturally have buck teeth. I just thought like mouse look, so it's like these are based off outfits I already have, minus the pumpkin and the yarn and spider webs. I can just craft this look with yarn in my braids. Like putting my hair in 2 buns or 2 like pigtails, and then adding yarn braids, which I've done before. And then wrapping them in a circle over a crafty like a spider decoration, and letting the rest fall, and then adding another thing on around my neck on my collar with like a tank top or something, with a little itty bitty pumpkin costume I can craft out of like a baby's outfit. Thank you. And I already have nets, and I already have these shoes. Again, you can always go a little crafty, Save some money, but go full on. Go full on. I'm not sure I'm gonna do anything for Halloween, but I do want to just have like a Halloween look to get into the spirits. Oh, thank you, Dave. Yeah, it's very easy. Oh yeah, this is how I do concept art sometimes. I just kind of like sketch something real quick and just change it up. Look at it. So yeah, it's always got to be. Oh my god, I almost deleted this area. It would have been bad. Break the window. It's very easy to be crafty and get a fairly good look. Cause like in real life, that's gonna be very good. And then plus like now since I'll be able to wear it IRL, I can actually like determine what like add stuff on it that I have to emphasize the look. But yeah, like a Halloween mouse. Anyway. Yeah. Design and cultural appropriation, basically. Watch out for that. If you're a person who is not of color and you have a design that is not, or like just like a person who is not of a specific culture, maybe like don't. Because I always get iffy, especially when like it's like regardless of what culture it is, if you're not part of that culture, I feel it's a little weird to like have a design of that culture. Like I remember seeing this person who did like an Aztecian look, but they were very not Aztec, from Aztec descent, and I was just like, that's a little, it's not bad. It's just it put a little nasty taste in my mouth. Not my favorite. So yeah, that was crazy. Look out for that. Any other questions? Because like, I think I basically come out like all my advice is like splattered out of me, and most of it was like repeating the same thing because it's not like too deep. A lot of times, just do what you want. But I remember talking about this earlier. I was talking about this. When you're designing an outfit, make sure it has structure. Regardless of what outfit it has, make sure you know how it's made, or not like literally how it's made, but like make sure you know that like the seams go here, or like the reason why it's like this, or like it's made out of this certain cloth, so it's gonna wrinkle like this, or like this person it's gonna be like this because it was made with this kind of boning, or like this kind of tailoring, so it's gonna be a little tight. Always know how it's gonna look structurally. Don't just like throw on a shirt and just have like flow and look structureless, because that's the main thing I see in a lot of beginner designs and beginner clothing, is a lot of times it has no structure. Everything has structure in some way, whether or not it's like literal structuring like boning, or whether or not it's like the way it's tailored or the material's made of, making it a little more hard or flowy, and then the sewing keeping it together, how it like poofs out or doesn't. It's always good to remember to note the structure of it, and not just like clothing as a whole. All clothing has different kinds of forms and feels and all that stuff, and texturings, and yes. So always remember that when picking out clothes of your character. What is it made of? How's it gonna fit on them? And yes, because like, a lot of my stuff, my character, is either cloth or like a faux, not leather, but faux like leather-like material, I guess. It's like some cottony stuff. It's not obvious, but it's like you can kind of see it. Like it's not latex. It's like a faux latexy, like a shiny material, shiny-ish, smooth. Anyway, any other questions? Cause I think I'm about to go. I've been talking about this for like 3 hours, and just talking about total drama, just my project, and just a bunch of stuff. And it's like, and other questions. I'm gonna look at my stuff to make sure I'm not like missing anything I can note on. No, like, yeah, no designs to be crazy. Everything can be everywhere. It depends how you like it. And yeah. When doing character design commissions, do you prefer to have a lot of detail to work with, or some? It depends, cause like, again, I mostly work with like realistic art, so like, I like realistic. I mean, I mostly work with like more realistic types of clothing, where like I'm not really good with like fantasy stuff. So like if you're looking for fantasy related stuff, like a goddess look, where it's like like I said, like the clothing in her skin is very much like kind of like mixed together and like flowy, crazy diamonds and all that stuff. I'll need a lot more references and a lot more information on what you would want, because I am not good at that. But when it comes to like things that are like more human, like you know, like let's say like I'm working like this design that's already made. Let's say that pumpkin outfit that I'm making is a character, and it's like not gonna be a costume. Obviously, it's gonna be more realistic compared to like if I were to make it like because the connotation is that it's something that's it doesn't cost that much, it's cheap, and I know it's gonna be realistic, so it's obviously gonna have like my own input. So I would rather have it be more realistic stuff, to have my own free will more so, but I'm willing to as well have more be like told what to do, especially for like fantasy stuff. It's impossible to use a half loop top stitch on love I love Steve Rayon. I would snag the fabric, if you know it. I do not know. I just know this thing connects this fabric, and my sewing machine does it good. Or like I can clear this up with this kind of stitch real quick that I don't know the name of. I'm bad at technical stuff, even in art. So like, I don't have any questions except that this has been a great stream. Oh, I'm glad. It's been a mess, but like that's okay. And I'm gonna drink my last bit of coffee. There's actual chocolate in it, so I have to mix it up. At work. I may remake some cocoa, because it's basically cocoa with a little bit of coffee. I may remake it later. With just cocoa, not coffee. Been great. Yes. But yeah, in terms of when if you were to commission me for designs, fantasy, anything like that, diamonds, crazy, ethereal shit. Give me a lot of direction. Give me all your references. Give me what you want, all the detailing you want, so I know what to do. And then for like realistic stuff, like my outfit, where it's like somewhat realistic, not affordably realistic, but realistic in terms of like what it's made out of and the structure of it, I would prefer more leeway, but I'm okay with also being told what to do. Because again, commissions are what you want, not what I want, unless you want me to do what I want. So yes. Oh, if this is it, then I'ma go. If that's it. And me too, the stream was nice. I read it from studies. I feel relaxed, girl. Oh, I'm so glad you feel relaxed. Not a question, but although the conversion stopped long ago, but my death game concept gist was that the contestants are furries and the mastermind wanted to kill. Sorry, it's not. I'm not laughing at the concept. I'm laughing at. I can imagine if furry's real, I can imagine it. I can see it. Yeah, I would love. Yes. Also, in my world, there are furries. Just saying. That's why my boyfriend's a furry. In my world, and like not like just in my world, like my void. I mean, like in my world, in the reality, there are furries anthropomorphic people. and there's like also like mixed people. That's why I live in my void though, because like I'm still like basically me when I was human. I still all know all the people from like when I'm human. I can go into the real world and stuff. It's not forever. So like them seeing me with horns would be kind of freaky. So like in the real world I have to cut my horns or like completely disguise myself. Because like in my world that hasn't happened where someone just started like suddenly becoming anthropomorphic or being half anthro because of reasons. So like yeah. Jeez. That would make sense. I would love to see that. That would have been funny. And really cool. Because we need more furry representation in death games. More furry death games. Please. We would love that. Furry death games. Discriminatory. Oh, the game series. What's the name? I like the man at the window, where it's like a mix of furry, like in the series, it's like a mix of human and furry characters and mixed characters, and stuff like that. So like, yes. But yeah, okay. Send just like if you have anything that's cool, you can always send it in the Discord, which I think it should be linked below. If you, oh, that's like this one anime I like was. Oh yeah. I remember that. Well, they were like all like half, rather than like full, but they're all based on them. Right? Like same in this world, furries and humans together. Also, the concept was for my main rabbit OC backstory, but could change for different protag. Yeah, or portage. Yes. yeah. I get you. I think. I like the idea of like humans and furries in one world. I may not be a furry, but I like being inclusive to other people, and I believe like adding furries to the world is a little more inclusive. But like, I have to know where to toe the line, because like, some people they're like bug inspired, but like I don't want bugs. Scary. I like bug anthro characters. I would be terrified. I could not handle a spider character that's like scary. I would vomit everywhere. I fear vomit. But yeah, I know what anime you're talking about. That was pretty. The ending was. I was kind of like, oh, because like a lot of characters I like died, but like yes, protagonist. I like saying, oh, It's usually there's no e at the end. It's just pro. It's just with a because like it looks like you're trying to say protag. Like I know it's pronounced protag. Like that sounds right, but it's like protag, like protagonist, protag. Like it's not incorrect, but I think most people just call it protag. Ooh, so much story potential. Keep it up. Yes, keep it up. Keep writing the story. I like the idea of the kid game. Maybe not like because like everybody gives some advice, everybody gives some criticism. I feel as though a death game would probably be the least easy way of killing off a bunch of furries. Cause like, yeah. Cause furries, they're very resourceful. We all know this. Maybe it's like a little deeper than just hating furries. Maybe it's like they all did something wrong, like slightly wrong. So yes. Oh no, Alex. I'm so sorry. Hi, we're about to end stream. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We've been streaming for quite a bit, just talking. I'm sorry, we're not gonna be on very long. Thank you for joining the last second. Peace. Hi. But yeah. Yeah, maybe like add like other motivation to it, like other than just like, oh, I hate furries. Maybe like so basically what I'm trying to say is maybe add more than just hate furries, because it's like being like, I hate insert minority group, and then throwing them in like like only like a handful of people in a thing, rather than like something that I would. But besides something that's happened where it's like a mass attack, it'd be more like a mass attack. Talk about that. I mean, in this world, furries have higher rate as prestige than people, and the mastermind hates that. Yeah, that'd be good. Or like, because like, you know, and they're part animals, so a lot of their things are like a little faster or a little stronger. Like some are a little faster or some a little stronger than humans, so like they get specific jobs because they're better at it. Or like because they're just like more just like a mix of like being more strong while also being more disposable. So like technically it's like a good and bad thing, where it's like the furry characters take it as a bad thing, as a good thing, because they get better jobs in that case, because they get the more dangerous jobs that pay well, and all that stuff. But also a bad thing because they're in danger a lot of the time. While for humans, because those jobs are now mostly filled by furry characters, it's like, yeah. So you are a female. Oh, I am, well, I mean, I would say female. I mean, I feel like female's a very, like, dehumanizing, like, word usage. I am a black woman. A black girl. I'm a black lady. That's okay. I couldn't sleep. It's night. Whoa. It's night where I live, and I saw that you were streaming, so I thought I'd join. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my beautiful Alexander. You beautiful being. I'm glad you came by. I'm still gonna be online and all stuff after this. I'm just kind of like talking about designing, and now we're talking about like stories, and like now we're just helping Challenger do their thing. Hashtag sheeple. Yeah. Instead of She-Hulk, sheeple. Exactly. That's also why I have horns, because, you know, transness. So like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. That's why I have horns, because, you know, cows don't really have horns. Bulls do, so like, kind of implies my transness. So yeah. There you go. So yeah. That's what I guess our advice is. But we can talk about it more in like, as you came, ultimate gamer. Yes. Sorry, you can't see me do hand stuff. I'm like doing like a you go person kind of thing. Anyway, I have a Discord. I have Twitter and all that stuff. If you really want to join, we can continue talking about your project and all that stuff in the art chat and all that stuff, and just have some fun and do that and just talk. We talk about, because like I feel like the topic has changed to like talking about this, and I feel this is a very specific thing. I like that idea, and I like the ideas of the jobs. I did a role play with friend of the death game, and the world building was amazing. I need to develop more mastermind. Yeah, maybe it's like I said, maybe it's like a what's it called? Maybe it's like an angry, disgruntled person who was laid off by a job because they, like a tech job of some kind, or like a job that would help them with the game structure that was taken over by a specific kind of like, that was solely being taken over by like anthropomorphic animals. Well, not really literally taking over, but like the company he wanted to be at hired a furry over him because, you know, they were just better at the job, but he took it personally. Like, oh my god, discrimination. It's like, no, it's not discrimination. They're just better at the job. But then, because like a bunch of all this other stuff piling on, because that's always the case, is that it's never just one thing, or there's always one, like, I guess, like, thing that lights the fire, but it's mainly a multitude of very small things that overall wouldn't mean much. But with someone who's like very like specific on it, it's gonna be a lot to them. But yeah. Anyway, yes, I'm probably gonna end stream now. This was actually really fun, and again, we continue talking about your fan project in the Discord. Sexy pose. Get the. Okay. Finish my drink. And yeah, again, I'll be streaming every Friday now, around the afternoon, from 12 to 1, kind of like, it's not gonna start at 12, just around that time. You'll know when I get the thing up. And yeah, thank you so much for the stream. Take care. Oh, you too. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in. I really do appreciate it. That's good for experience. It's better to start with fleshing the masterminds first. Maybe even the ending first. That way you would know where you're heading. You can foreshadowing. Yeah, or like little like bits of like throughout each chapter, it shows a bit of like small things happening, like newspapers or something, or someone being like, "Ugh, this is bad," and then yeah, like the weird memory things in V3.
Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Thank you. I'll see y'all next week on Friday. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day.
Okay.